I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
What are you?
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. You said from day one you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Sanders is the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I proudly stand up next to you all. God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Red. You got the belt around you.
What up? We are here on Work Boot Wednesday. Tap in, chime in, and become a member if you're not one. Strap up your hard hats and your work boots because it is Work Boot Wednesday on the realest show on Planet ERF. Pound that like if you haven't already as you walk in the room and dust those work boots off. This show is powered by BetUS. Head on over there today. Use the promo code CoachJB. It is game 3 tonight. As a critical one, I believe the winner of this one wins the series. Already made a future bet on BetUS, so you can head on over there today. It's great odds. I'm taking the winner of Game 3 to win the series, so make sure you head on over there to BetUS TV right now on YouTube and tell them I sent you, Coach JB promo code. Let's dive right into it. It is Work Boot Wednesday. We got a loaded show today. 3 guests back to back. NBA, NFL, you name it, we got it. So pound that like. I want to dive into what's happening, obviously, across America as riots break out from Chicago to Atlanta, from Boston to Seattle, which is all a coincidence, I'm sure. But we got game 3 of the NBA Finals, in which 2 small market teams have played some pretty damn good basketball, team basketball at that. Yet it is being overshadowed by the nonsense which continues to grow across America. Straight bullshit that we have to deal with, not only on our soil, but across the world. Complete anarchy as we're 6 months into the new year. This can't be good for NBA viewership as it was already down, plus adding the fact that there is no LA or New York in this finals. Thank God for that. We wouldn't even have a game 3 because of the looting and the riots that is happening in New York and in LA, respectively. I pray we get back to some sort of normalcy, some sense of normalcy in America, and can allow sports to make us forget the harsh reality of what is happening across the globe, even if it is just for 3 hours, if you're watching the NBA Finals, or tomorrow as the Stanley Cup Finals continue in Florida. But what do I know? Let's dive right into it since we got guest. Our main man, Far East Sider, 317, Naptown legend, Indiana Pacers jocking, LeBron hairline having, Lamar Jackson loving, and AR5 defending. Caitlin Clark's #1 fan, Big Smitty.
Shout out to Caitlin Clark. Shout out to the Indiana Fever. Shout out to the Pacers. Shout out to the Colts. Shout out to Naptown in the city of 317. It's about to be shut down tonight. sold out crowd. Shout out to the homie B Swift, gonna be on the mic on the ones and twos. Pat McAfee gonna be out there. All the stars gonna be out there, man. Shout out to the city, big time game tonight. Wish I could be there, but right now I'm in sunny LA. It ain't sunny right now, but it will be later. And I got my main man JB, Young Bailey in the background. It wouldn't be us without Jennifer Flynn, NL Engel, High Stakes Takes, TPB, Young Joel Cord, Robert Kelly. Thought you was in jail, homie. Quinn and KCBD.
He getting out.
When?
R. Kelly getting out.
For real?
Yeah, he asked for a pardon yesterday.
Is Trump is he gonna buy? Like, is he gonna give it to him?
No. If Trump gets him out, you gonna be a Trump voter next time?
Well, it's done after this term, so you
can't.
Like,
are you for the next 3 years, though? Are you gonna flip like Republican? Because he got a lot of y'all out, homie. A lot of the rappers and shit out too.
I'm not a rapper, so I don't know.
A lot of y'all though. A lot of y'all got out though.
I'm not a rapper or nothing. I'm just.
You got a lot more like cats out than like Biden did.
I thought we were all Americans.
We are.
So why you keep saying y'all, homie?
Like I'm saying, he did a lot for the black community, homie.
Okay.
Let's dive into the show, Smitty. We're gonna dive into that later. Is Reese gonna be there tonight?
Angel Reese?
Yeah.
Is he gonna be at the game tonight?
Oh, well, you said a lot of like people like Fever and Caitlin Clark. You mentioned like.
Well, I was shouting out the Fever. I didn't say they were gonna be there, and I would have shouted out the whole city of Indianapolis because like we're popping right now. We popping right now, so I would have shouted out myself.
That's what I'm saying. We popping, so I thought Reese would be there because she like popping the ass. Well, but anyway,
she's in season, so she probably won't be able to make it there.
Yeah. No, for real though. I guess they said the inmates came out and told the the powers that be in jail that they're going to try to kill R. Kelly, so you should get him out of here. And so then his lawyers, I guess, asked for a pardon. A pardon is not a pardon from like, you know, the governor or like the warden is different than a presidential pardon. This is a pardon to get out of jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I don't know if that's going to happen. And now curious to see, does R. Kelly, is he
Trump was also, I know he got asked about, you know, if depending how the Diddy case go, he might look into that too, as far as getting Diddy out too. Make sure he's free.
Yeah, so. But then somebody showed him the video of Diddy talking shit about Trump in 2016, and I think Trump now said, "Fuck Diddy." He could.
Well, Trump. I think Trump. The video I saw, he knew that because he made a comment. He was saying once he's like, we were actually pretty close, or we were cool, or whatever, cordial. And then he said, I think once I got into politics is when he kind of like, you know, pivoted. He said, which a lot of people do, whatever. So I don't, you know.
That's what's crazy, right?
But Trump said
they loved Trump before, though. Remember?
Yeah, but again, I just think it's different when you like you don't know somebody's politics and you're not talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm talking to my homie, we're not at the crib talking about politics and shit. So
but you came out here.
It's like damn, like that's how you really feel about. So I'm
but
saying
you came out here and said you know me, though.
Right.
But you've defended me because you said you actually know me though, and you're like, nah, that's really JB. Boo.
Yeah, you're a complex person. I said that. When me and you argued on Monday, I said it was confusing. You know, we're not adopting the same thing, but I'm saying I do know part of you.
So why?
Like, damn. So that's why.
Why do you think it changes though? Because Diddy, you just said Diddy knew Trump and they were boys, and Diddy actually knew the guy.
They were cool. They said
but now that you have a certain, you actually believe in something though. Now that person just forgot all that he knew about that guy and he being cool with him. Is that what you're saying?
It's just one of them things where if now I know more about you. Now you can laugh and stuff. I know
that ain't more about that ain't about you.
Like I don't talk to a lot of people about policy shit like that. So I'm saying,
but you already knew me though. You already knew me though.
And I'm talking about policies and all that stuff. Now I'm like, damn, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
But the policy has nothing to do with your
I got to worry myself on because I don't agree with all that.
But policy,
they weren't best friends.
But I get it. But policy shouldn't have to do with your character though. I mean, if you know me and you my boy and you know the truth. Why is policy now changing out everything?
But again, being my boy and being somebody who like I see at parties, at Hollywood parties or like events, and we what's going on, Donald? You doing all right, baby? All right, cool. Like that's different than being like my homie where we hang out and we.
That's not what you're saying, though. That's not what you're saying.
That's different separation.
That's not what you're saying. And people like DMV
is what
why
I'm saying.
And people like DMV is who I'm going to address today. I wish DMV would have came into the politics show last night because DMV is the one that's really misinformed and he's spreading this false narrative out there. And that's why we have this issue. That's why the problem is this issue. But, it is what it is. We're going to dive into it, Smitty. Quote of the day, though, brought to you by BetUS to start this thing off. Smitty, stop pouring into cups that don't mind leaving yours empty.
That's deep.
Stop pouring into cups. Stop pouring shit into cups.
Right.
That don't mind leaving yours empty.
I've done that my whole life, Jason. They don't care about you.
Exactly.
That's why you put
my point. My point, homie, to you. Damn. Stop. I've done it too long. That's my point to you. When you get to a certain age, you're gonna be like, damn, JB he had something figured out when he got to that old, like, crusty ass old man on the hill and didn't like anyone and just said the truth, whatever came to his mind. That you're gonna be like, damn, you might get there sooner than later, actually. You know why? Because the world's time is speeding up. Because of social media, cell phones, and the access that we have to everything happening on a second-to-second basis is actually speeding time up. Whether it's facetious or not, I'm just saying it's speeding up time, man, because we're right here. You have the ability to do every fucking thing every single second, and it's speeding up the younger generation. I actually hate it. I miss saying, damn, school's long today. Damn, work's long today. Now, motherfuckers is like, damn, it's already Wednesday? I'm telling you, homie. I'm telling you. But
like,
yeah, no doubt. Contrary to belief, brought to you by BetUS TV. Smitty, being upset when the law is enforced, but not upset when the law is broken is insane. Contrary to belief.
That's a funny one right there.
Contrary to belief.
That's a funny one right there. I like that one.
Absolutely insanity.
I like
that.
So
let me get it right. You're upset. We're upset when it's enforced right now. What we're seeing every single day so far since the riots have begun. We're upset when the laws are enforced, but we're not upset when the law is broken. Got it. I got it. It's unbelievable to me, homie. It is absolute fucking hypocrisy at its finest. D. Jones don't like that shit. D. Jones does not like the truth, homie.
My boy Jason Brown is all about the law. You know what I'm saying? He all about doing things by the book, all about doing everything 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Can't
have a better segue. Can't have a better.
I love it.
Can't have a better segue.
I love it.
I can't have a better segue because I remember when I didn't do anything wrong and they tried to throw the book at me. And then I remember when I used to rob Peter to pay Paul and nobody knew shit. So hypocrite is something I'll never be. But I know this.
Oh, man.
Whole question is my very own, Smitty. And I want to have a real conversation on the real show, on the realest show on planet Earth. And I got to be honest. And we've already had this argument and all this, but this is not an argument. This is a true ass question that I want to inform folks about, or ask the question at least. Smitty, I want to ask you, but I want to ask you for the broad masses. Why are you mad about arresting illegals and separating them from their kids and families? Please give me your honest take. You've said it before, but I want to ask you as if you are America as well. And I want everyone out there to answer the question. But Smitty, let's have the debate for the people. Just the question, answer the question, and I want to give you an interesting take of mine. But why are you mad about arresting illegals and separating them from their kids and families?
I'm gonna answer it, but I already know what your answer is gonna be because I saw something. But I'm gonna answer it just for the conversation of the podcast. But yeah, my stuff is pretty straightforward and transparent. I just feel like there's a lot of So number one, yes, technically speaking, the people who didn't go through the process of getting their green card or whatever the card is that they need to get over here, they broke the law initially from doing that, right? Boom. So you are technically speaking, you're right. But what I'm saying is, like, just using like my common sense,
No, that's not the question, though. I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just asking you, like,
I'm getting there. I'm just saying, a lot of those people are not doing anything wrong over here. They did a wrong move to get over here. Correct. So they're criminals. You're telling if I go put water in my cup at McDonald's and I didn't pay for it for the drink, I'm a criminal technically. So you are right. By the book, you are a criminal. But a lot of them, they come over here illegally, but then once they over here, they're just regular everyday people. They're working hard. They're not like robbing and killing and stuff. There's a lot of those people, right? So I'm defending those people. I'm not defending the people who cross the border illegally and now they're actually stealing and killing and causing chaos. Of course, let's get them. Let's get those specific people arrested. Let's get them back. But the people who've been here for like a decade or 2 decades, whatever, and it's like they're not actually causing issues. Me, just my heart, maybe my heart's probably too big. I don't see the win in sending those people back. So that's really that simple.
I don't think you got my question. That's not the question. That's not the question at all.
Okay.
Why are you mad about arresting illegals and separating them from their kids and families? That's the key question right there. Why are you mad about them being arrested and separated from their kids and their families?
I'm trying to see how I didn't answer that. Okay, let me see.
You just talked about the crime. You just talked about the crime itself. I'm talking about the separation from the family, which is what you said weeks ago. And on Monday, you were like, man, it's sad. You mentioned it.
But it's kind of connected. It's connected to what I just said. Like, you got families who've been here for 10, 20 years who are not actually causing issues, but they got over here illegally for whatever their story is.
Yeah, but what separates it?
So I'm saying, so when they get, so when you go and you take the father or whatever or whoever and send them back, to wherever they're from, it's like, damn, like, was that necessary? Like, what was that father actually doing here that was causing issues to where you needed to go grab them and break up that family? That's all I'm saying. Now, if that father's out here causing chaos, it is what it is. If you actually out here doing bad shit, well, that everybody gets in trouble and gets arrested if you're doing bad shit. But I'm like, if he's not doing nothing, you're just looking at a paperwork situation saying, oh, well, 20 years ago, you came over here, you came over here to take care of your family, and you as the father did not do it the right way, or you were trying to do it the right way, but the paperwork didn't go through for years, and you decided to give up, and you came over here anyway. So we got to send you back, sir. I know you haven't done anything since you've been here. I know you work at the construction site, and you're making good money, and you got a house now. But oh well, you came over here legally. We got to send you back. In my heart, I just don't feel like that is the right thing to do. So that's why I'm upset because of those scenarios. So that's
but before that, a couple weeks ago, you were mad that they were separating the families. Like,
I'm literally saying that. I'm saying I'm upset when they separate. When you take a father away from a family, you're separating the family. So that's what I'm talking about.
But we're talking illegal specifically. We're talking about the illegals at the ICE raids and all the shit we've been seeing. You mentioned that specifically. You're like, man, it's fucked up when we're seeing them at Home Depot being snatched or wherever, construction sites you mentioned in Florida, whatever. And we're talking about the family separation of the illegal folks that are here.
I feel like you're trying to get me to answer it in a certain way so you can respond a certain way, but I'm literally answering I'm answering the question.
No. You've actually mentioned it before, but you're not saying it tonight. You just mentioned before the part that, it's sad. That's what the real word is. You were like, it's sad to see the parents and the kids separated.
Yeah,
because you mentioned it. No, but you mentioned it like, you related it to man being from nothing, and you seeing that they came from somewhere else, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I can understand that. Like, and that's the part where I say I was confused that you didn't at least understand it. Being from inside, you're from nothing, but you're from nothing in America. I'm from nothing in America. So it's like, all right, in America, the good thing is that if you can come from nothing and you can make some out of it. But that's not the same thing in every other country. So all I'm saying is, when I take a step back, I can understand and be like, damn, like, like, who knows? Let's say I grew up my exact same way, but I was just from Mexico.
Yeah.
Who knows what my mother would have done to take care of her kid?
You can't ask that question though.
We'll never know. I'm just saying, but I can, like, walk in somebody else's shoes is what I'm saying. And I do that a lot.
I have done
because
that.
It's not always just. No, I'm not saying you like you. I'm just saying
that's
what I do. Like, walk in somebody else's shoes. Because
I've grown up with Mexicans my whole life. I've grown up with Mexicans my whole life. That's for the majority. That's what I've grown up with here, black and brown. So I think that we have the same thing in common as far as black and brown are trying to be divided as well by the Democratic left. But we're not getting into politics. I want to get into this question. I wanted to, for DMVs and D Jones and everybody out there. That's why I asked Smitty that question, to get the chat going, to see why we're mad about arresting illegals and separating from their kids and families. I want to ask this question, Smitty. Why aren't you mad? Not you specifically, but I am asking you as well. Yeah. Why aren't you mad that we arrest the homies every day and separate them from their kids and families every day?
I knew we were going to this route because I saw.
But I want to keep going. Why are we mad that why aren't we mad that we separate them from their kids and families every day in every hood across America? Mm-hmm. See, this is why we got to stop this bullshit, because this is why we know that these riots are fabricated bullshit by paid actors. And it's a fact. It's been proven. It's on video. Go out there, downtown LA. I will be there today before my political show tonight. I will try to get as much on camera as possible, as allowed, before my show tonight, to prove that these fucking white, Karen, liberal, purple hair, the young brothers, 17 to 22, and the paid Mexican Americans are the ones out there rioting. Because I have several videos that people have sent me. My homies are like, dog, this shit is all fucking bullshit, JB. The protest, peaceful protest, many, the last time I checked, do not incite riots. And this is what is happening across America today. And it's funny that it's all coincidental, right? Chicago starts up, Dallas, Seattle, Boston. It seems like it all happened at one time. But I have yet to hear any of my boys talk about how sad they are that the homies get arrested every day since I was a little kid and separated from their families, homie. And not one person has ever talked about that. But they're sad now that illegals are being separated from their families. The irony, the hypocrisy is an absolute joke, homie. And that's truth and that's real. And we got to stop, because if we're not worried about our own folks on our own soil being separated from our own families, then why are we worried about this all of a sudden? That tells me there's something bigger than what you and I know, Smitty. It's paid actors being forced to go out here. Now you got all these motherfuckers who got kicked off the scene, squealing and ratting like a motherfucker on TikTok and Instagram. Yeah, I was paid $150. Yeah, I was paid $200 to do this. And they're showing the actual letter of where to be and how to get a brick or a firework or an explosive. The shit is crazy. It's happening. And I got video. I'm going to show it tonight on my show, what I can. And I'm going to go today because I just want to see firsthand the bullshit itself, because I already know what it is. But it's a joke, Smitty. We are really being manipulated out here. From every single family home to every single person that is witnessing a riot in their town. And it's not peaceful, homie. Stop with the peaceful shit, because Adidas stores and Apple stores right by our studio, Smitty. The Apple store that we go by, to turn right there on here.
Yeah, I saw it.
That's not peaceful, homie.
Yeah, that action is not peaceful. That action
has been happening since the start of this thing, and now they've literally
it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse, but I got
they've literally
gotten worse. But
they've gutted some of my favorite. They've literally gutted some of my favorite jewelry spot down in the Jewelry Mart. The downtown jewelry district got gutted last night, and then they put the curfew in. Now they had to put armed guard. The shit is crazy. But listen, this is the agenda, because ironically, so you're telling me, Smitty, we got on a group text on WhatsApp and in Chicago, Dallas, Seattle, Boston, all at the same time, and got a million motherfuckers to go out and protest at the same time peacefully, which is incited riots. Come on, homie. We're not that dumb. We can't be, but we're telling the American people, you're this dumb, you're going to believe what I fucking force feed you. That's really what we're saying. So come on, homie. I'm not that dumb and naive. I'm just, I
hear what you're saying. I just would like, if you got like actual like proof that like the New York, Chicago, LA, and they're all like, you know, coming together as paid people.
Well, what do you mean proof? It happened.
As some sort of like, I don't see where the connection is. Like,
what do you mean proof? So you're telling me you think all those cities started coincidentally?
No, I said coincidentally, but I feel like anytime there's ever been like a riot or protest of some sort in like one major city or area, oftentimes look at history, it spreads and it happens in other places when people are coming together and believing in something. I'm saying just in my little 30-something years when I've seen different protests and riots, it typically doesn't just happen in one place and that's it. If depending how big the topic is. But real quick, that's I want to get back to your earlier point. You asked the question of why Black people, why we don't defend and why we're not sad about Black families breaking up. That's completely false. I'm as a Black man, I'm telling you,
I never mentioned Black.
I'm telling you,
I never mentioned Black.
Well, you mentioned.
I never mentioned Black.
You said, why you worry about illegals getting separated from their family?
I said homies. I never said Black.
We're not worried about our own homies. Okay, cool. So we're not worried about our own homies getting separated. We do talk, at least in the Black community.
You hear what you want to hear, homie.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
But in the Black community,
but you gotta stop.
For us, we do talk about how families are fucked up because the father's not there.
Why aren't you protesting then?
In a separation of
why aren't you protesting?
You know the difference is though, and I mentioned this in my initial tape because I knew you were coming here. Difference for me, for Darnell, I'm not speaking on nobody else. For Darnell, is that each situation is different. If I go out here and let's say I go harm somebody or I go do something actually wrong in that sense, whether it's a rob, steal, anything, I sold a drug or whatever the case may be. If I do something like that and I get arrested, I'm not. Why protest? I literally did that action of like harming somebody or doing something like wrong to the community. To me, in my head and Darnell's head, nobody else has to understand. In my brain, that's different than somebody coming over here from another country to try to do better for their family. That's all I'm saying. In my head, and you don't have to understand it. I'm just saying you the truth as far as what I believe in. So it's the realest Shaun Planet ERF. You can shake your head. That's what I believe in. I don't correlate going to go like
Smitty, you're not doing it there though.
Robbing the Apple store and you crossing the border for your family. I don't put that in the same box. I don't, but you're all right. Technically speaking, illegal crime is crime. Technically, we're doing technicalities, and you're right. So, but we talk about that a little later though, because we got special guests here, JB.
Yeah, but the bottom line is though, we're not going over there to do it. See what I'm saying? They came here to do it, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah, we don't want to. All right.
Yeah. You're missing the point. I'm going to show you today. I'm going to go down there today and show you.
I hope you just have your phone just out. Don't pick and choose. Oh, the blue hair person right here. Just record.
But I have a funny feeling. I'll show you, and you'll still fucking deny it and say I'm lying.
Just keep it raw though. Don't edit. Don't pick and choose what you want to.
Damn well, I don't know how to edit.
I know. I'm just making sure. Don't censor Bailey. Just have it raw and just post what you see, and don't go.
Yeah. Hey, so let's get into our guest. Introduce our main man right here because we got a main guest joining the show top of the morning here, so I can't thank him enough. Oh shit, my bad. Been around a long time.
Texas reporter.
Hell yeah.
For ESPN, man. Louisville alum. A lot of my family from Kentucky. The one and only DJ BN. I may bring him in. DJ, what's going on, my brother?
Doing good. I'm doing good. You got a lot of family from Kentucky?
So my mom, my grandma, like a lot of them are from Bowling Green, Kentucky, but they moved to Indianapolis, Indiana. So I'm from Indiana. So, but a lot of my core, like my grandma, them aunties, is from Kentucky. So I don't go there a lot, but as a kid, I would dip and dabble there sometimes.
I don't go there much since I graduated either. So it's all good.
Hey, I appreciate you hopping on, brother. I appreciate you hopping on with us. I wanted to ask you right out the gate, man. I coached Tank Dell, obviously, recruited him.
Right.
And you guys got you got a hell of an offense that you put together there, and then you just added Chubb, and in the injury to Tank Dell, you added a big time wideout in the offseason, probably thinking Tank's going to be down. I want to ask you, what's the talk in the town right now about the addition of Chubb to help Mixon out in that backfield, and is that gonna get you guys over the hump offensively as far as sharing the rock and sharing the load?
So I would say when it comes to adding Chubb, it's more about can he get to like 80% of what he was, because obviously he'll never get back to 100% most likely because he's tore almost 30, multiple knee injuries, broken foot last year off of just taking a hand off, broke his foot. So I think expecting to get him back to what he was before is unrealistic, but we can get back to 80%, and I think that's what they're hoping for. They're not going to obviously be a really good 1-2 punch in the backfield because last year they didn't really have a guy that could truly spell Joe. You have Dameon Pierce here and there But he doesn't necessarily. He might fit this version of the scheme because they're going to run more gap schemes, more duos, things of that nature. Versus last year under Bobby Slow, they were running more wide zone, mid zone, things of that nature, and he didn't really have the vision to fit into that. So he might be more effective in this one. But again, Nick Chubb, he'll be effective in this one if he can get back to 80%. To get over the hump, it's still coming down to the O-line. I think the moves they made on the O-line, I'm not that confident that it's gonna be able to. It'll be better than last year, but being better than last, the bar is in hell. It's not gonna be too much hard to be better than you were last year. Yeah. But they have less talent overall in my eyes, especially getting rid of a Pro Bowl level left tackle. So now they have no Pro Bowl talent on the O-line right now. So, and I think, even watching practice, first day of minicamp, watching the tackles struggle against Daniil and Will, some Texans fans will say, okay, well, that's Daniil and Will. They're both double-digit sack guys. However, when you get to that next tier of trying to get over that hump, you're going to face teams that have great D-lines. So the Ravens got a good D-line. Obviously, the Chiefs, they're able to, Spags be able to always get pressure when it matters most. And the Ravens usually always have good D-lines. So that being an issue, obviously it's July. Well, it's June. It's super early. So, I'm not going to act like, it's the end of the world. But that's going to be the key for me. If the O-line isn't a game changer, then, every move they made isn't going to get them over the hump.
Hey, if I were to say to you, I think addition by subtraction is a real thing. I think you actually are going to get better in the long run up front. You won't lead the league in false starts and penalties. And which will help you in the long run. Younger, more, put together O-line that's going to build through. I think it's addition by subtraction, personally, and I think it'll help you in the long run. Everyone's bought in. Everyone's on the same page. I think that'll be huge as locker room continuity goes. Let me ask you something, transition real quick before Smitty jumps in. You guys got a Justin Watson there that's kind of made impressions on D'Amico and the GM and everybody else. What's been your view of him? And how impressed are you of Justin Watson so far?
He made a couple plays yesterday, but he's more of a depth piece. And honestly, I think really the starting core is going to be Nico Collins, Christian Kirk, and then Jaden Higgins, the rookie out of Iowa State, 6'4" guy. He moves really, really well for a guy that is that big. I think it's gonna start with those three, and everybody that's gonna kind of fill in at that point. I think you could see some Justin Watson, in a rotational piece at that wide receiver 4 spot. Sometimes spelling Nico or spelling Higgins. But then again, we'll see what Jalen Noel becomes. Right, he has a lot. He's the only pure burner that they have, and they actually kind of need that because they haven't had a guy that could truly get vertical, that makes safeties really get back. Tank had that a little bit his rookie year. Obviously after the injury, and the way he was used last year, he didn't get a chance to display that. And obviously, with the injury that he has now, he probably won't play much this year. So, with Noel adds that element that they were sorely missing last year. Because last year even though they can go deep, but you could sit on a lot of things, which is why you saw the Chiefs run a lot of 2-man under against them, because they knew that none of the guys gonna be able to get vertical and threaten us vertically, and we could just sit inside. The only one guy we got to worry about is Nico. And if you catch a few out routes, cool, but we know eventually that's going to, not lead to where they want to go.
I love it, man. Love the breakdown. Let me go to CJ Stroud, man. So we saw it was a news topic a week or so ago about his shoulder and him not throwing, and it felt like it kind of got a little blown out of proportion. I think he's back throwing now, but any insight there? Is it something to be concerned about? Was it just literally just regular soreness? What info do you got on that?
Yeah, so it's regular soreness. I think that he just worked out really hard in the offseason. You know what I'm saying? I think we've all been there. We were working really hard, and then we start getting nicknapped. My senior year I ran track, I was working out too hard, and I had got some knickknacks, but I fought through the knickknacks, and then I'm getting even more hurt. But the Texans were just being precautionary, right? Because just general soreness from him saying I was just working out too hard, right? He was trying to trim body fat, get bigger, stronger, faster. Yeah. So that's not, you can't lollygag to do that. You got to really get after it to be able to do all three: burn body fat while getting bigger and getting faster. You can't. Yeah, it's not gonna be walking the park. So I think it was just general soreness, and I do think I do think overall we kind of blew it out of proportion because it's June, July, like ain't really much to talk about. Especially with the Texans, like they're at the place now where like everything that matters to them is in December, January, and potentially February, right? What happens from now to in terms of talking points, right?
Yeah.
There's not really much to talk about with them because we expect them to at least compete, win a division, host a wild card game, and try to see if they can get over that hump.
Nah, I think it was Smitty. Who was it? Trey Wingo, I think, made the comment that something serious, and I came out right away on the show, and I was like, dog, I played the position like we not just not working out from January to fucking June. Like we work out at quarterback, dog. Like get better. We got better. He's just off. He's not like he's competing for a starting spot. He's the guy. You got how is that transition? Not to cut you off, Smitty. How is the transition from CJ and the new OC being from the Rams, running more boot nakeds, waggles, more complexity probably than Slowick? How's the transition been mentally for CJ?
Yeah, so I think mentally it's gonna be fine. I think the in terms of like the past concepts, right? Like that's gonna be fine for him. CJ's pretty smart. Like CJ can pick up a lot of stuff, and he's like a football junkie. So I think more the new challenge for him is going to be picking up, like he's going to be in charge. He's going to have more onus in terms of pass protection, right? And I think that last year, one of the bigger issues the Texans had was CJ couldn't adjust pass protection at all for the most part. Like at least 98% of the time, he couldn't adjust pass protection. So whatever Slowick called,
he just went with it. Like
he just went with it, or Drew Strug just went with it, or whatever. Because that's who actually made the call.
He couldn't like for himself understand it, or the OC wouldn't let him.
So most of the Kyle Shanahan tree guys, they just call it pass protection. Kyle calls it pass protection. Mike McDaniel in Miami calls it. When I covered the Jets in New York, Mike LaFleur called it for Zach Wilson, and obviously that's just how they do it, right? And that's just how it goes. It wasn't like CJ couldn't understand because CJ wanted to. Right. CJ wanted to, because I think there's a lot of times where he would see specific fronts that he knew like this pattern might not work, and if he could just check out of it or whatever, but he wasn't allowed to, so he just had to trust and operate and play. But in reality, like now you're taking your quarterback out of the play in that part of the chess match, and you make OC versus DC, right? And that's why there were so many unblocked pressures that hit him last year in so many unblocked sacks. That Green Bay game sticks out to me because he got sacked a lot of times without even a guy being touched. So I think this year he's going to have way more onus on that to be able to change plays, be able to change pass protections. Because I think the only way CJ can reach his max potential is be able to do that, because all the top guys can do that. And I think CJ can be a top guy. You got to be able to do that because you got to minimize the coach the OC as much as possible. So it could be you versus the defense versus you just relying on your OC to kind of carry you.
Right. And you mentioned the O-line being like a big piece of this, their success or lack thereof this year. Him being able to, check pressures and stuff like that will also help them. It's a full kind of, universe thing where it helps out both sides. So
right.
That's a good point.
That I agree with. That's all I think the O-line will be better. It's just more like, will they be good enough to be able to block, the Chiefs front, or be able to block
the top dogs.
Yeah.
Let me ask you before you go. And again, thanks for coming on here. I mentioned that I'm a Indianapolis. I'm from Indianapolis. I'm a Colts fan. Obviously, we know the AFC South. From the looking at it, it's one of the worst divisions. Let's just be real, right?
For sure.
But with that being said, though, are there any teams in there that if you're a Texans fan that you at least got your eyes on? Like the Jazz got Liam Cohen now. He gets a lot of credit for what he did with Baker Mayfield. Obviously, they drafted Travis. Like, is the Jazz? Are you guys looking at the Jazz as like a potential threat, or is it like, nah? Like, as long as the Texans handle their business, this should be an easy conference to win.
So I think with the Texans was always gonna be like, it's funny. Last year they had the same record as they did the first year with D'Amico, but obviously I think the team was better. But they had a first place schedule, so I think that's kind of what is gonna determine all that. I think the Titans, because we see it all the time, like teams going from worst to first. And I think the Titans have one of the easier straight for schedules this year. So I think while the Texans are facing the Ravens and the Chiefs and the Bills and the Buccaneers and those caliber of teams, the Titans are going to be catching whoever was fourth place last year in those interconference game or out of conference games. So I think that's the one team, and they beat them. Actually, the Titans actually beat them last year in Houston. They actually beat them last year. So I think that that's going to be the one team where I'm like, if they start well,
Yeah,
they might be able to beat the Texans in 2023. Now, will they? That remains to be seen. You know, I don't really buy much into the Colts because Anthony
we're not a quarterback.
like Anthony Richardson isn't accurate enough. Like, I haven't watched him enough in person. Like, I'm like, like this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? And the Jags just feel like
the Jags on paper look like they should have been leading the division last couple of years, in my opinion, but something just doesn't click for them.
Yeah. So like, I don't know what it is. Obviously for me, like, I think like some of it was they're up front, like they're bad up front on the offensive side. So like that's why Trevor is like lived in quick game, because like the O-line was just he couldn't do a full, consistently do full drop back pass game. So that feeds right into the Texans' hands, you know what I'm saying, which is why the Jags struggled to beat the Texans. So I mean, and I don't know how much that's going to change. We'll see. Yeah. So that's why I'm going back with the Titans. The Titans, maybe Cam Moore can step in, have some success, get a good run game. I mean, he has a decent amount of receivers. I think their O-line should be better because they got a really, really good O-line coach, and I'm big on O-line coach can help the development in that aspect.
Yeah,
we'll kind of see what the defense looks like this year, but I think the Titans could be the one that's like, oh, okay, like they could push them at the end because they're gonna have an easier schedule.
One sleeper. It makes sense, JB. Love
it. Before you get out of here, man, is Nico top 5 wideout in the league?
Yeah, I think so, man. I think so. Like, I think it's like watching him in person. Like, it's funny. I've been covering him since 2022. Like, I would have never expected him to be this good. Like, he always had the talent, but it was always like something was getting in the way, either injuries or just didn't separate well enough or whatever it was. And like going in 2023, he just developed all that, and he got a quarterback that helped too. But he got a quarterback, worked on his craft, and now like, I mean, he looks like baby Julio at times. Like, he moves so well for a guy that's 6'3". Like, he shouldn't be able to move that well in and out of his breaks. You know what I'm saying? Like, like he moves like he's 5'11".
I'm on your side with that. That's why I asked that question. A lot of people don't talk about it. Like,
but hold on, if he's top 5, y'all, I gotta put you on the spot. No order. Who's the 5 then? Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase off the bat.
AJ Brown,
CD Lamb.
I would take Nico over CD.
Me too. Okay. And I would also slide Puka in there.
Puka.
Yeah. I mean, I probably
Tyreek Hill.
Nah, I think Tyreek Hill on the downslope. Watching him in person again, I guess against the Texans, they're like, because Tyreek struggles with press coverage. Like, he struggled with that. If you can actually like run ish with him, he struggled with press coverage, and he lost a little bit of step, and he doesn't have a quarterback that can outthrow the coverage. So sometimes you need a guy that can throw a 60, and Tua really can only throw a 55. Right, so he got to win quickly and get vertical. But I've seen enough teams.
When Tua was healthy though, Tyreek had his best individuals year with him.
For sure. That I agree. However, I do think that he's just not as dynamic as he once was, and he's so speed reliant that if you lose a few steps, it is.
If he don't run a go route, he ain't running shit else. It's a now screen or a go route. Like, it is what it is. So I don't know. I agree with you, man. Hey, I appreciate you hopping on here, man. I thank you. Hopefully we get CJ on the show this year and get Tank's little ass on here, and hopefully he recovers, man. And I appreciate you hopping on here, man. Good luck to you all year and the family, and most success to you. I appreciate it.
Yes, no problem. Thank you guys for having me.
All right, brother.
Have a good one.
Man, beat writer, insider, right there. Appreciate him jumping on here, DJ. Man, the 5 is we're gonna always have these top 5s and all that, but I can't have Mike Evans in there no more, even though I think he's the most underrated wideout ever. Like, I think he's the most underappreciated, the most undervalued, underrated wideout ever is Mike Evans. But I don't have him in the top 5 now just because of his age. I don't know. I mean, it's tough though. It's tough to keep him out of there, man. If he has another.
I forgot about Ra. Yeah, I can't listen. Skill set wise,
Nico's different, homie. Nico's different.
Yeah,
bro.
but I need another year. I think that's what I need. I'm not talking about talent. I'm just talking about production. I need another year of like, all right, like, you know what I'm saying. Like, to me, based upon what we've seen, I just can't comfortably put him top 5 right now. Now, if we're projecting, okay, cool. But based upon what he's done, ain't no way I can't put him in front of CD Lamb right now. Not right now. Or Tyreek. Not right now.
Tyreek is a slam screen or a go route right now, dog. And we saw him kind of hit a wall last year.
Okay, if that's the case, how does this man dare get 2,000 receiving yards in the season if that's the only two routes? Because if that's the case, you are a horrible coach then on the other side.
We're talking about last year, though. We got to go by our last year, though.
But Tua was hurt.
Even with Tua, man. Like, I'm be honest. Like, listen, his production didn't fall off. That's why I'm on the side of where I am with Patrick Mahomes. Because I know damn well that Tua is not Patrick Mahomes. But I also realized that Tyreek Hill's production didn't drop without Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
So that's why I'm so, all right, what does he do? Does he run in cut, dig routes, post? Does he catch hook curls? No, he catches nines and slam screens and bubble screens and rail routes, wheel routes.
Some digs every now and then, though.
Yeah, they get him in the slot and they rub and run him a wheel route and they back shoulder him because of his speed to scare the top off the coverage. But if he gets over the top and they play quarters coverage on Tyreek Hill, you'll see him very much struggle in all the intermediate route concepts in the NFL that you can possibly run. And if Waddle's hurt, have you seen a picture of Waddle?
He's real little.
You must not seen him then.
No, I have not seen him. Like,
Waddle looks like 300 pounds.
Oh, he's like big now?
He's fucking horrific looking. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, like bro. Or something?
Yeah, bro. I seen him at practice, homie. I'm like, holy fuck. He looks humongous, homie. He absolutely looks horrific. His body type is so bad looking.
Was it really him or was it like some AI stuff?
Nah, it was him, dog. Because I was watching him and Tyreek, and then we're next to each other at practice. He looks fucking horrible, homie.
Oh shit!
And he's one of the fastest dudes in the NFL. If he gets hurt, what?
I'm seeing what you're seeing.
Yeah, homie, your motherfucker's huge. I'm telling you.
Ain't no fucking way.
Yes, it is, dog. It is. I got a homie on the staff.
No. This is like another Waddle.
No, homie.
No, because
Waddle's huge right now.
No, watch this. I'm
not saying he's like not going to be.
No, because I see what you're seeing at. This ain't the same. This is somebody else. I think you're looking at.
No. I'm talking about the wide receiver.
I know, but all right. I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna see the two. I'm gonna see the two links though.
Not the defensive player.
You gotta add it in. I'm just saying, but just I think this might be what you're confused.
No.
About.
Look at the wide receiver Waddle. Look at his body type from last year to now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at him on this route.
He been in Dubai too long, homie.
I hear you.
He been in Dubai too long. Anyway, Smitty, we got a guest on right now in about 10 minutes. You see the private chat? You want to roll?
My fault.
You want to roll through it or no?
Yeah, we just roll through it. I ain't even like, we just got going for like.
All right, so let's dive right into it because obviously game 3 tonight. I've already made a future bet. I bet US that the winner of tonight's game wins it all. I believe the Pacers have struggled all year long during game 3s. But let me ask you a question. Let me throw you a question real quick. If the Pacers lose tonight, putting home court back in OKC.
Yep.
It's over, in my opinion, because they have home field court advantage, and they are obviously, if they just win their home games from that point on, they're the champ. Now, I want to flip that question to you, though. If the Thunder lose tonight, I think they can still win. If Indiana loses tonight, I think there's no way for them to win, if that makes sense. That's the difference in this one. I just think that because again, Thunder lose tonight, they win the next one, they split, they go back home to home court again. It's still home court. Remember, they would have to lose both games in Indy for me to be like, oh, damn, 3-1. I'm more in tune to making a wild bet down 3-1 that OKC can still come back and win it versus Naptown down 3-1 and then winning it, if that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? I think OKC can still win the series down 3-1 versus the Pacers. There's no way the Pacers can win it down 3-1. It's over. So I guess that's my take on this. That's why it's critical for this game 3 for the Pacers, in my opinion.
What's the synonym for like racist, right? But like when it comes to being biased against a city. Like, you really don't rock with Indianapolis.
I like Indianapolis way more than OKC.
Well, I don't like that take you just said. Then I don't like that take, Jason.
I'm just being real. I'm just being real because of what has happened at home for OKC. Like, that loss was an anomaly for them. They've absolutely been dominant at home. I mean, they only lost fucking 14 games all year.
But on the road, I think they're not that good on the road. They haven't been that great. They've been like average on the road, I think.
Smitty, they only lost 14 games all year.
No, I'm talking about the playoffs.
Well, they haven't lost that many games
In the playoff. I'll try to look it up, but I'm pretty sure OKC playoff. Point is, though, you made a bet saying whoever wins this game is gonna win the series. But then you flipped it and said, well, if the person didn't know, I wouldn't be shocked. OKC come
I'm just
back.
saying, I just was doing it for conversation for you. Like, I think one team down 3-1 versus the other team down 3-1, there's a much greater chance or shot for OKC to win down 3-1 versus Naptown. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you. I think the winner of this game takes control of the series, but I don't think it determines who wins the series, because let's say OKC does win. I think they have the momentum, but then the Pacers come back and win that next game at home. It's tied up 2-2. Okay, bet. Now we're back to square. It's 2-2. Anything can happen at that point. So I think it's too early to say whichever way. Wins it. Like, even the Pacers win tonight, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's over. No, I just think they would have the momentum. So I think the next game, what would that be? Game 4. I think game 4 is like pivotal for me. Like, I think you're game early, in my opinion. But tonight will be important. I'm interested to see how Tyrese Halliburton comes out. He got interviewed the other day, and he was just saying, hey, as a team, we have to figure out a way to play better early. Because in the second halves of both of game 1 and game 2, the Pacers have outscored OKC in the second halves. But it's the first half where they're playing so poorly, and that's the issue. If they can get out to a good start and not let OKC, get one of those crazy 20-4 runs or whatever early, I like the Pacers a lot, because I know if the game gets late and if the game's close, I like our guys to close the game better than I like OKC. So big time game tonight, back home, downtown Indy. They're going to be at St. Elmo's. They're going to be at all the spots, the lounges, and the fans are going to be ready.
Yeah, it's going to be critical. I think it's going to be a good game, at least, for sure. That's all I could ask for in a bad playoff, NBA playoff season. I believe at least have the finals being good games. They've been pretty good for the most part. I mean, they were up big and came back, and Halliburton did what Halliburton's been doing all playoffs long and hits that unbelievable game 1 shot that you got to witness in town.
Man.
So I think it'll be better, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So let's dive into the rundown as we got some good information from our Houston Texans insider in the last hour. If you haven't seen it, go back and check it out. We got a NBA beat writer, Shaun Powell, joining the show here in a couple minutes. But Smitty, I got to ask you about this Bengals rookie cat.
Oh, man.
Because I got to get your take.
Yeah, let's talk about it, man. Bengals rookie Shamar Stewart, he spoke, I think this was yesterday, and I think it's safe to say that things are not in a great place. We got a video, man. Check it out.
I actually have no idea. I really don't know.
What have you been doing to stay locked in? And there's only so much that can replicate on the field reps, but what have you been doing to make sure that you're actually locked in when you're out there, knowing that you can't do anything?
I still go to meetings. I still study my playbook, take down the right notes, and then whenever I get some free time, I'll go out to train at Black Sheep.
Is it fair to say at this point that you will not step foot on the practice field in practice until you're signed?
Yes.
How badly do you want to be on the field?
Very bad. I mean, I've been doing this for most of my whole life, and then all of a sudden it's gone over something very simple to fix. It's kind of disappointing.
Have they given you any answers as to why they're choosing this year and you to set a new precedent?
If I really wanted to say, I can't say what I really want to say, but it's their contract. They can do what they want with it.
How important is it?
Man. It's this is not a good situation to be in if you're the Bengals. Obviously, they're already dealing with their star pass rusher and Trey Henderson. Now they got Shamar Stewart here as well. But we'll dive into this topic here in depth here shortly. But we have our special guest JB. Go ahead and bring him in. Mr. Shaun Powell, writer for NBA.com, author of Sold Out. Make sure y'all go pick that up right now. But the one and only Shaun Powell, bring him in. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How am I sounding for you guys? All right.
Sound good. Sound perfect. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Let's
appreciate you hopping in here, Shaun. Appreciate it. We got a wealth of knowledge in basketball. Obviously, game 3's tonight. I've made a future bet that said the winner of this game wins it all. Would I be crazy to say that?
Not necessarily. I think that first of all, the Pacers have to win a game 3 in these playoffs. They lost to Milwaukee game 3. They went into Cleveland, won those first 2 games, then came back home and lost game 3. Did the same thing with the Knicks. So I think it's kind of important for them to get this game, because then you sort of at least plant that seed of concern in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City has kind of dominated this series. I know it's 1-1, but if my math is correct, that's 96 total minutes in the 2 games. They've led on the scoreboard 94 minutes.
Right.
So, of course, Tyrese Halliburton hits that shot, and of course it's 1-1. But I would say the Pacers still have something to prove.
No doubt.
No, I agree with that for sure. I was speaking before you had hopped on. I was talking about, I think Halliburton got interviewed the other day and was saying, hey, we have to find a way to play better early in the games and not so much late. I think I saw a stat that the Pacers in the second halves of those games have been outscoring OKC, but the first half that they're in such a deep hole that it's been, in game 2 at least, it was too tough to come out of. What is it that OKC is doing that I guess is causing so much issues for the Pacers, specifically on the defensive side? I'm seeing turnovers left and right. It feels like the Pacers are having struggles of getting into their sets offensively.
Well, Oklahoma City's defense has been terrific all year. They've got 2 guys who made all, not first team all defense, but the all defensive team in the NBA. Yeah. The only team to put 2 players on all defensive teams. And Shea wasn't one of them. And he's also, I would say he's top 10 defender in the NBA, top 15 maybe. Mm-hmm. He's leading this series in steals. Caruso's played well.
Man.
Again, so, Chet at the rim, Lou Dort, of course, J-Dub, a really good defender as well. He was, along with Lou Dort, was on that all-defensive team. So I'm not so sure it's what the Pacers are not doing right or wrong. I think it's what Oklahoma City has been doing all season.
No doubt. Let me ask you, you've been covering NBA 25 years, Shaun. Is this the hardest, I guess, time period to watch as far as entertainment value? The 3-point shot, the absolute blowout after blowout that we get to witness throughout the playoffs. Even the big blowouts of the 30-point games, even though teams came back in those series or in those games, and won or made it close. Basketball overall, we've had a lot of NBA vets on the show, and they're like, man, I channel surf now. It's hard to watch for me. Is it hard to watch for you, or is it the same old game? You just enjoy watching these freak athletes get out here and play? Or has the game kind of changed for you as well, as far as watching the competitive nature of it?
Yeah, that's a great question. I always tell people, look, when I started out, it was like the tail end of the Showtime Lakers. So I have a bit of perspective here. I always say that the players today are better than ever before, but the game isn't. And I know that sounds strange, but no, the game isn't. The game's not creative. Everybody has the same playbook. Everyone's spreading the floor. Everyone's shooting 3-point shots, or they're taking their best player, putting the ball in his hands, and they're going ISO. I don't even know why coaches even call timeouts in the last 2 minutes of the game. For what? You saw Rick Carlisle. He didn't call timeout in game 1.
Right.
Tyrese Halliburton had the ball. You know what's going to happen. What am I going to call timeout just so I can get Halliburton the ball?
Yeah.
So I kind of look at it this way. If you remember when Michael Jordan made that iconic shot over Craig Elo in the against the Cleveland Cavaliers years ago.
Yeah.
And everybody remembers that play. Nobody remembers the play that happened before that put Cleveland up. You know, it was an inbounds pass. And then Craig Elo was throwing the inbounds pass. And after he threw it, he made a backdoor cut, got a pass back, and made the layup. Now, how many teams today would let Craig Elo win the game? Nobody's going to do that, right? But it took creativity on the behalf of Lenny Wilkens, who coached that team, to call that play during a timeout to catch the Bulls off guard, which they did. But all the coaches use the next play, give the ball to Michael Jordan, everybody clear out, and have him win the game. But not every team today has a Michael Jordan.
Great point. I thought what he passed it to Mark Price, wasn't it, that made the pass?
Yes, absolutely. It's Mark Price. Hey, you're up on your Cavaliers history. Larry Nance.
I remember watching that game vividly. I'm like, oh man, what a crazy way to go out, because everybody thought, oh, there's no way Cleveland could beat this team, and Jordan goes down this iconic shot. But yeah, it's a good point. I agree. We've had all the vets. I've been saying the same thing. Most athletically gifted era, not only in basketball, but football and baseball. But the game itself is not the best I've ever seen, not even close. I just think the competitive nature, the overpaid under-deliverers that we get, load management thrown in there, the fan experience thrown in there, the price inflation has gone up, and then my favorite player may not even play. But I bought season tickets 2 years ago, and then Kawhi Leonard don't show up for 60 games. Like, it's just a bad product, in my opinion. But I do agree. The athletes are unbelievable. And small markets is my next question. I've asked a lot of veterans on here. Smitty and I have talked about it. There's no New York, no L.A., obviously. Thank God. They probably wouldn't be playing tonight if there was, due to what's happening in America. But where are you at with the small market? I've asked everybody. I know the big three is kind of dying out. Me shopping to get a big three together to try to win. I think Phoenix has had a decently, I guess we can call it a big three with Bill. That kind of failed miserably. The big three seems to be dead. It seems to be more organically raised through the draft. We've seen the Celtics do it, obviously, Denver, and now OKC. I know they got Alexander from the Clippers and all that, but at the same time, seems to be a kind of a homegrown team. Are you worried that the small market won't be able to attract a big-time free agent? Let's say OKC wins this series. Is this like a one and done now, the way that they do this? Can the big time free agent be sustainable in a small market town like OKC or Naptown?
I think small market was an issue for the NBA, a real issue for the NBA, say 25, 30 years ago, before, cable TV, streaming and all that. Yeah. But now, when players were somewhat attracted by the big markets because they can get endorsements. But I don't think that's the case now. I mean, with the way we consume sports on multiple platforms, the size of the city really doesn't make a difference. I mean, and here I am saying this, and the two teams in the NBA Finals were not on the Christmas Day schedule. You didn't have Indiana, you didn't have Oklahoma City. But I think players today are not necessarily free agents, that is. I don't think they're choosing, destinations based on market size. As a matter of fact, I would even say some players who come from small towns, who played at college, 1 year in college, in small college towns, they really don't want the hassle of being in a big city. Like, for example, if you play for the Knicks, their practice facility is located in the suburbs. So you got to deal with that madness and coming back down in Manhattan and dealing with the traffic and getting out of the arena. And some players don't want to deal with that. And take Oklahoma City, for example. There's no rush hour. There's no such thing as rush hour traffic in Oklahoma City. Everybody goes speed limit during rush hour traffic. Right. And, it's so they get more for their money. And I know they're making millions and millions, but they still get more for their money in a small town. They don't have to deal with as much hassle. And they still get the visibility based on social media, based on streaming, based on, pretty much every game's on TV. So I don't think it's an exposure problem anymore.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Yeah, the times have definitely changed where you know you don't lean on just one avenue in order to get that exposure, get your marketing going. For sure. Let me ask you this: there's been some arguments or some debate going on in the sports media world about Tyrese Halliburton and if he's a superstar or not. Where do you rank him at? Do you look at Halliburton as a superstar right now, or does he need to go ahead and finish this thing out, win this series for you to put him in that category?
Well, first of all, before I answer that question, I think we as a basketball nation must come to a conclusion. What is a superstar?
Right. That's a good point.
Everybody's got their definitions.
How do you define it?
Well, first of all, I don't really use the term great and superstar and franchise player and face of the league. I don't really throw that around liberally, because when you do that, it loses its luster. It loses its definition. So
right.
This is how I would sum it up. How many players in the NBA can actually help a team win a championship? A handful? Okay. And then, so let's put that group aside. Now, how many players in the NBA would you pay good money to see? Like when they come to your town, you're budgeting, you want to see these guys. Now let's put that, that group aside. So we're not talking about very many players.
Right.
Really help you win a championship or there might be some players who are very good, but you don't really want to see them play all that bad. John Stockton, did you really want to see John Stockton play all that bad? But he was a guy who could get you the NBA Finals.
Right.
So I would say the player who fits both definitions is a true superstar, a LeBron James, a Steph Curry. But LeBron James comes out, you want to see him play, and he can help you win a championship. So the players who can fit both definitions, in my book anyway, those are superstars.
That's a great definition, JB. I haven't heard it broken down that simple, but I mean, if you think about it, because superstardom is more than just what you do on the court. Like, it's obviously that's the number one thing, but like, there's guys that sell shoes. There's guys that can go to China and those fans will lose their mind just to take a picture with them. Like, it's bigger than just what you do on the court. I guess So what's your definition then? Would you classify like the Joker? Is he in that category? Obviously, he can lead you to a championship, but on the flip side, I kind of put him in that John Stockton kind of bubble of like, do I really want to spend this money to go watch Joker play because of his style of play? You know what I'm saying? So it gets a little tricky depending on how you define it, I think.
Yeah, and that's a great question. That's a great example. Me, I'm a basketball purist. I love the beautiful game. I love players who bring something else to the table. I don't like specialist guys who can just do one thing and, then they disappear for the rest of the game. So I do like to see Nikola Jokic play because he plays the game beautifully, like jazz. This is a guy who at the top of the key, he can throw those little behind the back passes, bounce passes, finds his teammates, hits the 3-point shot, and for a big man can bring the ball up floor. I mean, again, as a basketball purist, now I kind of like to see that. And again, so as I said, when you're talking about, there's millions of basketball judges on the planet, and everybody's got their philosophy and things like that, who they like, who they don't like. Mm-hmm. But if you're asking me, I would pay to see Jokic play. And of course, he's proven that he can win a championship. But you know what? I didn't answer your question about Tyrese Halliburton. I think he is maybe a player like that in development. He's not there yet. Number one, he hasn't won a championship, and he hasn't proven that he is got that star appeal. This is a guy who barely got off the bench in the Olympics, and he played a total of 24 minutes for Team USA last summer. And I don't think people were turning off their TV because Halliburton's not playing. Well, I'm not going to watch this game. Right. But I think, can he get there one day? Sure, but he's got to pass the test in this series. Number one, he's got to win a championship this year or soon. Number two, maybe just add a little bit more to his game, and we'll see where he's at.
Let me ask you this real quick: is Adam Silver reaching by changing the All-Star platform and format year to year? I say it all the time. Like we're throwing shit at the wall and making it stick here in the NBA because of viewership. We got the in-season tournament. We got the All-Star format seems to change every year because they can't get it right. People don't want to play in the game itself. The competition level is bad. Now we're going to have the world versus U.S. Where are you at with that? Is this going to be something that makes or breaks the All-Star game going forward?
Well, I'd like to answer that question with a little bit of a bigger picture look. Number one, I can't blame Adam Silver because I have to blame the players. Adam Silver and the NBA recognized that the game needed help because players aren't playing hard. And I'll just break it down for you. In order to win major awards, they had to put in a 65 minimum games played. That's shameful. That's shameful. Yeah. The midseason tournament is because during the first half of the season, the NBA needed a buzz and players were not playing games, sitting out or whatever. And now look at the end of the season where you have the play-in tournament. It's because teams were tanking, not playing games. So I put this at the foot of the players. Now let's take the All-Star game. Come on, man. These guys are just going through the motions. They're not playing defense. The game got very stale. The fans were tuning out. The players put Adam Silver in a tough spot where he's had to make all these changes to the game. And keep in mind that at that time, the NBA was negotiating a multi-billion-dollar media package with media companies. They had to do something to get that money, right? So with regards to the USA versus the world, this is something I had proposed years ago. And I said, look, the amount of talent coming in from overseas and through Canada is so significant that you could have a game between, the USA and the world. And I went to Giannis a couple years ago and I said, hey, man, what do you think would happen if this game was played? He looked at me and he says, oh, we win easily. You put me on the front line with Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic, who's getting the basket against us? First of all, the defense. You put Shea in the backcourt, because he's from Canada. I know he went to college in the U.S., but still, he's Canadian. And then you have a backcourt of Shea and Luka. Giannis looked at me like, dude, game is over. I don't care what kind of lineup the USA puts out there. He said, he did say, if this was maybe 6 or 7 years ago and you had a younger LeBron James and a younger KD, younger Steph Curry, he said, I don't know, maybe. But, absolutely. Now, the trick is with this USA versus the world matchup for the All-Star game, the selection process. Mm-hmm. Do you leave out deserving American players who otherwise would be in the All-Star game, but because they can't play for the world team, they're left on the porch?
Great. Let me ask you a tough question. If I were to say, my non-knowing ass about basketball, if I were to say I blame Greg Popovich for load management and missing all those games because he was the guy that started this whole movement nobody wants to really discuss, the in-game season tournament, or not the in-game season tournament, what do they call it? The play-in.
Play-in, yeah.
The play-in, though, is Adam Silver, correct? That's because, in my opinion, corporate sponsors were pulling out because of the TV contract that they were about to sign for all that money, and they had to get extra games for those corporate sponsors, and they added a play-in tournament, and that only goes to show you that the whole Popovich load management thing kind of backfired because we missed our stars playing in so many games, like the Kawhi Leonards, etc., over time, that we had to give our fan base that's been spending crazy money after inflation to go see these games and not get to see Kawhi Leonard in San Antonio for 40, 50 games a year. Isn't that kind of what happened here at the end of the day? And Adam Silver is having to cover that up, or no?
I'm not so sure about that. And, obviously I'm not in the meetings when they come up with the reason for this and for that. I can just from the outside, looking in, kind of have my suspicions. I largely actually think the play-in tournament has turned out pretty well.
That's what I said.
Because you have at the end of the last week of the season or whatever, you have teams fighting to get in the top 6 so they can avoid getting the play-in. We saw that with Minnesota. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they basically were playing playoff games from late March on because they stumbled and they had to try to correct themselves just to try to avoid the play-in tournament. Because once you get in that play-in tournament, then it's unpredictable. I mean, you could be one and done, or maybe two and done, depending. So if you're a team and suppose you're a team that had some injuries early in the year, but you're otherwise would be a good team like Denver.
Yeah.
And suddenly you see yourself 5th, or 6th, and it's mid-March. Well, you've got to scramble a little bit. You've got to play ball. So I think that has sent a sense of urgency to teams to avoid that situation. And so I think by and large, the play-in tournament has been a credit to the game. And I think the fans kind of enjoyed it as well.
No doubt. Me and Smitty and I argue about it every day. I just hate like the 8th. I just used to 8 teams. You earned it through the season. You're in. Like the other extra stuff, everybody gets a award thing. It's hard for me to watch it because I think that those 8 seeded teams, that's what they're used to because their players played and earned the right. I think it's to me, we're like covering up the fact that we didn't play certain amount of games for certain teams and we're giving them another chance. Oh, well, Kawhi's healthy now. The Clippers are rolling. Let's get them in. Like that's to me is my issue with it. But again, what it is, I get it. I know it's all about the mighty dollar.
Well, also, but like last thing, at the end of the day, it's a tournament though. So like, if you really are the best teams, then win in the play-in. You know what I'm saying? Like if you finish the season as the 8th seed, go in the play-in and show them why you deserve to be in the playoffs. Like go win.
Then don't play all season. Then don't play all season. Then don't play all season. Then
I don't understand that piece.
Why are we playing for the season? I get it, but I just don't know why we're playing the season then for the 8th best team. I don't understand what the season means. The season used to mean home court advantage, what you've earned during the season. The 8th best teams make the playoffs, and that's why we played hard for 82 games. Now it seems that you're telling me it's okay. I can tank for a while, and I still get in the play-in and then play hard and then bump a team out. Like that to me is not how this game was originally designed to be played. That's just my opinion, but. Man, I can't thank you enough, Shaun, for hopping on here early in the morning on the West Coast and giving us your wealth of knowledge on this thing. If I put it to you, if you're a bettor and you're betting the house, who's winning the championship this year?
OKC. It's just a matter of whether this is going to go 5 or 6 games. It's not going to go 7. Look, this team. Look, I cannot ignore what my eyes have been telling me since late October. I mean, this team won 68 games.
What they've been telling you?
I mean, Shea, MVP.
Only lost 14 games all year. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
it's a thing called fate. It's something that we can't. Stats don't tell the full picture, Mr. Powell. I'm from Indiana, and it's a thing the Pacers got right now that's called heart, and that thing is beating right now. And those fans in Indianapolis, they've been earning and yearning for a ring. They're gonna shock the world. I'm telling you.
All right, big fella. We'll see what happens here, but yeah. All right.
Hey, let me ask real quick, Shaun. I already said last question I got. I know the championship pedigree though that Rick Carlisle possesses, along with a guy that's won it all in Toronto and Siakam. Is that carrying any weight at all, or you've seen a dominant team that's been up 95 minutes, like you stated earlier, and the team's still the most dominant team? The Rick Carlisle effect and Siakam's championship pedigree doesn't help at all.
I think it helped through the first 3 rounds, particularly in the Knicks series. I just think Rick Carlisle outcoached everyone along the way. And I think Siakam showed that sort of championship mettle, that championship experience, particularly in the Knicks series when you really couldn't stop him. Once that guy started going downhill, he was, terrific. There's a reason why he lifted that conference final MVP trophy. I know Halliburton was like, give it. No. No, that belonged to Siakam. It was close. But yeah, I think I think the world of Rick Carlisle. You saw how he coached Dirk and the Dallas Mavericks against the Big Three Heat. Some people say that was probably the most improbable postseason run ever.
That was crazy. I remember that.
Given who they had to go through, San Antonio, Kobe. Yeah. So, again, I think Rick is back at it, but I think he's probably in this series 1 player short. And you could argue that he doesn't have a quote unquote superstar on this team. Got some good players. And I know that's hitting you right there now.
Right here.
I know that's hitting you right there. But maybe if he gets one more decent player, and again, this is a record-setting Oklahoma City team. I mean, if Minnesota had squeaked through, if Denver had come out of the West, okay, all right. But maybe this is the wrong year for the Pacers.
Nah, no doubt. I agree. Shaun, I thank you a lot. I appreciate your wealth of knowledge, and hopefully we'll see you soon, brother.
Yes,
See you
sir.
guys. Appreciate you having me on.
Yes,
Thank you.
Of course. See you.
Shaun Powell, 25 years of knowledge in the NBA. I've been around doing this a long time, Smitty. Great conversation. Smitty, take a break because we got a big-time topic that we alluded to that you introduced, and then Shaun came on, and I can't wait to dive into this one, man. A rookie telling an organization, real simple fix, and he's been doing this like he's a 25-year veteran. We're going to dive into that one on the other side. Love what?
I love what he's doing because he's right. But we'll talk about that in 2 minutes.
Of course you are. I'm like, all right. I got the Herbies following me.
Yeah. They appreciate you know, in the world we live in today, there aren't a whole lot of people that are willing to just kind of say it like it is, you know, and you guys have created a platform where you're able to do that. That's what Pat has created as well for himself. So, you know, kudos to you guys for figuring that out.
Nah, I appreciate you coming on, man. Some people think you might be the busiest human on planet Earth, man.
You're everywhere, man.
It's been a crazy fall.
I thought I was a hustler and a grinder, man. And I know everybody out there, man, that has a soft side or whatever they want to say. You're a dog guy like I am. Now you added the dog element to it. Your followers had to have gone through the roof, probably on the female side. I don't know. You know, your wife probably looking at your shit like, hey, man, what's going on here? Females love dogs now. Hey, I got to ask you, man, what started that whole thing?
You know, I think everything going on with Zach this year, I've had dogs my whole life. My first dog that I really, really had was a golden retriever. When I was in 9th or 10th grade, and that dog I had till I was like 30. So I just became a big golden retriever pet owner just because, you know, everybody gets into a certain breed or a certain kind of dog. And for me, having kids and things like that, they just kind of became family members. And so I've had them for, you know, over 30 or 40 years now. And I've always done more than one. I see you have a couple yourself. I just think it's cool when they have a companion, you know, and so I think it helps them out and keeps them, you know, their spirit up. And so, yeah, I've always been a dog person. This year, I just decided to take Ben out with me, not for the intention of social media or anything like that, but just kind of having my guy with me. And I did it the first time out to Seattle for Oregon, Washington. And these NFL stadiums on Thursday nights, it's funny. I took him on a Thursday night with me because I do the whole week. I leave on Wednesday. I leave today, and then I'm gone till Sunday. So I took him to Thursday, and I brought him into our meeting, a big production meeting in this hotel. And Al Michaels was kind of not a bit, I could tell right away he wasn't a big dog guy. And so Ben just kind of walks around. And when he got over to Al to say hi, Al was just kind of like, so I kind of sensed that, but Al didn't say anything. So I went over and I got him, brought Ben back over. And then after that, the next week, I was like, where's Ben? And I was like, I just thought you didn't want him in the meeting. And he goes, oh, you kidding me? You need to go get him. So I went back up to the room, brought him down. And so from that point on, Al is more intrigued by Ben than anybody. And you know how dogs are, right? Like their personality, they just kind of get around people and kind of do it in their own way. So Al's come full circle on hanging out with him. And so, yeah, I did it that first time. And I just realized how much he impacts everybody that he came in contact with and just started bringing him every single week from that point on. He's been out on the road with me now. I don't know, like maybe six weeks or so. This is, by the way, if I'm not on the road, this is what he does right here.
I love it.
Mine are at my feet right now snoring, man. That's what they do. It's unbelievable. My good friend Pat Perez, live golfer. We were at Craig's here in LA one night, and Al walked in, man, and we were chopping it up, hanging out with Al last summer, I want to say, or summer. So right before the season started, I think last year. So So great dude, man.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I know it's probably been a hell of a experience going from the college world to Al and that NFL legacy, calling the miracle and all those different legendary stuff. Has that been like a crazy surreal moment?
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, I was maybe 10 or 11 years old when I sat on my couch like everybody that was alive at that point and watched the United States, and the Soviet Union, and all the way throughout his career. I'm a sports junkie like you guys. And so I've watched all his stuff, the Olympics, boxing, obviously NFL, MLB, everything he's done. And I mean, my career, I started with Mike Tirico when Mike was really young. And then I went to Brent Musburger, who was, a guy that, again, our generation, we watched him too. And that was my next play-by-play guy. Then I went to Chris Fowler, who, I obviously had a relationship with doing game day. And then I worked with Al Michaels. Those are the only 4 guys that I've ever worked with.
Fuck it. I'll go home tonight. I'll drink my yak and smoke my stick, and I'll get it back cracking.
Yes, sir. We back, man. Let's get straight to it, JB, man. I know we teased it a little earlier.
Hey, Smitty, real quick. I want to address Keith Smith in the chat. Your boy. He said, "Did I see that Simone Biles apologized?" No, I didn't really see it. I saw something about it. Somebody shared it to me, but she's already shown me who she is. So the apology doesn't do anything for me. That's why I don't apologize. But yeah, I did see somebody send it to me, but no, I didn't read it. I don't really care to read it. She showed her ass to me and showed her true colors. So I think she's a little boy anyway. So let's move on, Smitty, to allude to your topic, because I know we've had you alluded to it. We teased it. And you said you liked it. So break it down.
I'm gonna just read it again, just because we got new people in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, become a member right now. But Bengals rookie Shamar Stewart spoke yesterday about his contract situation and him sitting out. And there's a video. Let's go ahead and show it again, babe, just because I think some people didn't see it.
And
no doubt.
There's only so much that can replicate on the field reps, but what have you been doing to make sure that you're actually locked in when you're out there, knowing that you can't do anything?
I still go to meetings. I still study my playbook, take down the right notes, and then whenever I get some free time, I'll go out to train at Black Sheep.
Is it fair to say at this point that you will not step foot on the practice field in practice until you're signed?
Yes.
How badly do you want to be on the field?
Very bad. I mean, I've been doing this for most of my whole life, and then all of a sudden it's gone over something very simple to fix. It's kind of disappointing.
Have they given you any answers as to why they're choosing this year and you to set a new precedent?
If I really wanted to say, yeah, I can't say what I really want to say, but it's their contract. They can do what they want with it.
I've seen enough of this. Fuck. Go ahead, Smitty.
All right, so just to add, I guess, a little bit of context here. The reason why they're in this issue, in this situation, is because the Bengals are trying to add or set a new precedent where they're adding language into their rookie contracts where basically it protects them from any or for some of the future guaranteed money. And it's something that's that hasn't been done. It's something that they didn't do with any of their first round picks in the previous years. It's something that other teams don't do with their first round picks. So it's literally a new thing. So Shamar's looking at what's going on? I just want my language to be the exact same way that every other first round rookie's language is, because typically it's a set amount of money that they get guaranteed. I think it's a 4-year deal or 5-year deal with the option or whatever. It's a set standard. So they're adding in something that's never been a part of it. And he's like, I just want my normal. I'm not asking for anything extra. I'm not asking for more money. I'm not asking for anything. I want the norm. And you can tell by, even, him talking right here that he's frustrated. He wants to play. And now, granted, there's a few things, and we didn't show the whole video, but there are a few things. Like I know he spoke out on Trey Henderson's situation. Like, leave other people's business out of it. Don't bring that up. That has nothing to do with you. So I think he just was speaking a little too freely and started going a little too much. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm with him. Like, just give me the normal contract. Why are we making these things complicated? And it goes back to what I said months ago, as far as the Bengals being one of the cheapest organizations in the NFL. I've spoken with people who used to play for the team and close to the team, and it's been that way for decades. So, the only reason why I feel like Jamar Chase finally got that money and T. Higgins is because Burrow has the leverage. Burrow is the quarterback, and you don't want to piss him off. So he's out there saying, hey, give me my weapons. You know what I'm saying? Or I might think about leaving. So, of course, you're going to pay them. But even with that situation, they made Jamar Chase go out there and had to play another year. You know what I'm saying? Just to prove it. Like, it's always an issue with money when it comes to the Cincinnati Bengals. And it's like, why draft this kid first round and then do this? Like, I don't understand. Are you trying to make it better
potential, Smitty? That's what they play on now.
First round.
They pay you on potential. He only had fucking 4 sacks in college, homie.
Why is this the only team that's doing this though? This is the only team.
They took him in the first round, having only 4 sacks.
Every team does. Well, don't draft them first round. Like,
Smitty, why? No, because you misspoke already. No.
Sacks don't tell the full picture either, though. Stop it. I played D-line, so don't try to put it in.
Fine. But the fact is, you drafted him in the first round. The fact is, he had 4 sacks. So I'm just.
What does that mean?
They drafted him on.
No, you sound like a guy who don't know football. Stop saying he had 4 sacks and keeping it that simple. Watch the tape. Is he a dominant force who's a playmaker? It's not just sacks, homie. Stop.
Why are you not listening, homie? I said they fucking drafted him on potential. Right?
Don't say fucking like that.
I'm making your point for you. Like, that's why they drafted him. I don't give a fuck that he had 4 sacks. I'm saying that the 4 sacks is showing you that they drafted him on potential. That's why they took him in the first round. Furthermore, educating my young brethren, don't they have the leading sack guy in the NFL in a contract dispute? So that's why they drafted another pass rusher in the first round.
To replace him probably because they can't afford Trey. So pay this dude his rookie contract and let's move on.
But we got to address that this kid is a kid who has the same agent that dealt with his NIL money, and there's a bigger macro level to this, and this is why I believe he's being told and led down the wrong path. He mentioned in that video that he's been doing this his whole life. No, you haven't. You've been doing what is necessary to make it to the fucking NFL, son. Stop acting as if you're a fucking wily veteran, because fact is you had 4 sacks. And the fact is we drafted you on potential, showing you that, hey, dog, you're getting first round dollars. So at the end of the day, don't up here acting here if you're Lawrence fucking Taylor already.
Yeah.
Like, so then play.
But give me my normal rookie contract guarantees like every other first round rookie got.
That's not it, dog. They're giving him a potential contract. They're telling him to get, we're drafting you on potential. We want to make sure that if something happens and you opt out or buy or leave, we want dollars back. If you read the actual contract,
that's not what that's
what he says.
Cool. That sounds good. They're trying to protect themselves. He's trying to protect themselves. So he's the bad guy. They're doing the same thing right now.
He's a rookie who's acting as if he's been playing his whole life in the NFL.
Like nothing.
He misled you though. He said that he's been doing this his whole life. Now he wants to play. No, you haven't.
Football.
You've been
football.
No, you've been doing what's necessary to play in what? The NFL, homie.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna get there and just take whatever, homie. Like if me and you were having a call, if me and you having a call with a brand sponsor and they lowball me or they put a stipulation in the contract that's unjust and it's not right, I'm not gonna say, well, fuck it. This is what I wanted. I'm gonna just take it. Nah, I hope that's not how you negotiate, JB. If so,
but there's no negotiating. There's no negotiation. You're a rookie. You don't even know what negotiation is. You got your dad as an agent.
Homie, rookies have sat out before. This ain't some new thing. There's been rookies who have sat out because of the situation with their contract. But
we've talked about it. There's been what, 5?
It don't matter. It's been rookies that they have done it in the history of the game. I work with the one who did it. My point is this. All I'm saying is he's not. If he was asking for like more money, I'll be on your side, JB. We be eye to eye. But he's not asking for anything extra. He's literally just saying, I want the same terms that's the norm. He's asking for the norm, and it's an issue. He's asking for record. We all first round, boom. This is what you get paid. It's guaranteed. Move forward.
There's first round stipulations. There is contract stipulations in draft picks, so you know. First round guys get this much. Second round guys get this much. Third round is this.
Yes.
Why all of a sudden is this guy different?
No. I'm asking you that question.
The first round monies, there's locks. It's locked in.
I know, but the issue. I don't think you see. I don't know if you did your research.
No, I've been reading it for a whole night. I mean, the Bengals want protection. Is it if this cat leaves or gets hurt? That's
not normal. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
It isn't normal. That is normal.
No, it's not. I'm telling you, it's not. I'm telling you, you're wrong right now, Jason. I'm telling you for real.
No. Let me explain myself.
Okay.
First round draft pick. He's going to get his dollars for first round money that he's got drafted to earn. He's going to get that dollar no matter what. That's the cap lock money that he's going to get as a first rounder. Like, it's a 4-year deal, $20 million or whatever it is, 19 million or whatever. Then he gets a signing bonus of whatever, right? And then there's a base salary, right? I'm confused as to why we think that this guy is different than any other first rounder when it comes to the actual dollar that he cannot exceed. So why are we so worried about playing football when that's the top dollar you're going to earn anyway? That's my point, Smitty. You're not going to make more money. You want something in your literature that protects you and you only, not the franchise who drafted you first round. That's these kids' enabled fucking entitled mentality, homie. Period. Point blank.
It has nothing to do with enabled.
That's what you're missing.
I'm trying to like say it in the most simplest way. Like, what I'm trying to explain to you is he's not asking for any more dollars or anything unique.
No, he can't.
Nothing unique.
My point. He can't.
Unique. No, this is nothing unique to his contract at all.
I know. That's my point. He can't ask for more, Smitty. He can't.
Right. Perfect. Okay. So cool. My point is, then the issue is that the Bengals are trying to do something different that's unprecedented. Like, the Bengals are doing it. How are you not seeing that? Like, to your point, he can't change anything. Cool. The Bengals are changing stuff.
It's not unprecedented.
Well, there's no other team. Tell me any other team that's doing it this year. If you can find it, I will take a backseat. Doing my research, the Bengals are the only team that's doing this particular stipulation within their contract with first-round rookies. From best of my what I read and research, you love research. The Bengals are the only team doing this. So he's literally just asking for the regular first-round language that every other first rounder gets. That's all he's asking for. Like, how is that being a diva? How is that being ungrateful? How's that like? Just give me the regular language. Let's move on.
Because he hasn't practiced one time.
But
no. Now, if you told me that he went to OTAs and did all the minicamp stuff after the draft, like every other rookie did, then I'd be like, all right, now you hold out OTAs to get that literature finite proof or whatever you're saying. Then I would say, all right, there's a different take from me.
Those rookies had already signed
at all. You haven't practiced at all. You haven't practiced at all.
Signed their deals.
You haven't done anything at all
because I don't have a deal.
But it doesn't matter. OTAs, a lot of people don't have deals yet and still went to a minicamp. No. They went to minicamp, Smitty, as rookies, homie, and then they're negotiating. Okay, if there's some dispute, then you do it now like he's doing right now. He has yet to do anything. Like, that's the problem I have.
You reach right now.
It's just like, come on, homie. It's a slap in the face to the organization who drafted you first. You're gonna get top dollar, Smitty. You're gonna get top first round dollar.
This is why you always argue. Your problem is that you feel like, again, these players are divas, all this. You feel like you getting paid enough.
I mean, it's proven
because you're consistent. I'll give you that.
No, but Smitty, it's not enough thing. It's a first round cap. He's not getting more money.
I know.
It's not any money, homie.
I understand that, but no, I'm saying your mindset though.
Practice.
Your mindset is that you're getting paid. The numbers are the numbers. It's good. You're a rookie. You ain't did nothing yet. Fuck the language. So what? They added the language. Go out there and play. Forget it. It's business. This ain't no.
Let me ask you: when he signs this and it's finalized, what's going to be the difference?
The language. He's going to have locked in guaranteed.
So why didn't he practice?
The money's going to be so. For example,
why did he practice though?
If he signs his current,
nothing changes. Why did he practice, homie?
No. It is going to change. It's not the dollar amount. It's the game. So listen, JB.
I know what it is. I get it.
So why you keep saying that?
It's a stipulation. But my point is, it's going to get done. Why hasn't he practiced? He's going to get the same dollars, homie.
Because he wants to make sure he's guaranteed to get that.
He is guaranteed. It's a first round pick
right now. If he fucking breaks his ankle and
it's an injury stipulation. Exactly. It's an injury stipulation. They already took him on potential. They already drafted him on potential.
Jason, why you understand?
I don't agree. I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. Keep talking about this organization because TJ went through it and all these other guys have bashed the organization. The organization has also paid a lot of people, like Willie Anderson stated on our show,
of course,
a Hall of Famer who we don't want to talk about. We don't want to discuss. We got to stop getting off that narrative. This is a young rookie who had 4 sacks, who got drafted in the first round, who's going to get top dollar for a first-round pick, who isn't going to get anything changed other than a stipulation that's going to end up happening because the Bengals are fucked either way. They drafted a guy in the first round to possibly replace a guy that doesn't have a contract in who? The lead sack of the NFL in Hendrickson. So the Bengals have zero leg to stand on. The stipulation's going to happen. I want to see you play, son, because I drafted you first.
Then why add the stipulation in? Based upon what you're saying, if they have no
it's
leg stand on, why add
potential. That's what I'm saying. We drafted you on
potential, Jason. It don't matter if you're number 1 overall pick or the last pick. There's always potential.
There's no 4 sack guys getting drafted in the first round. Stop. Don't tell me that. You know football. You know football too, homie. Like you said, I don't know football, and sacks don't mean everything. I agree with you. I agree with you. With the film,
bro. Like, come on, man.
But also, I'm giving you first round grade with 4 sacks. That don't happen either, homie. So let's be honest. And as an organization, Smitty, let's be honest. You're on the team. And don't give me no cap shit. Don't give me no bias shit, homie, just because you're defending the kid right here, right now.
I'm not.
Be real. If you're in that locker room and this motherfucking rookie comes in here and your 10-year veteran ass don't see him practice, you feel a certain type of way, stop capping, homie. That's the fact.
Though.
That's a fact.
I'm really
there
not.
You are. Stop. Yes, you are. He's a rookie.
The shit I don't like is some of the comments he made bringing up Trey Henderson.
Exactly. That's the enabledness of it.
No, bringing up Trey Henderson, like
he's a fucking veteran is my point.
I agree with that piece, but the reason he's sitting out, I'm with him. I don't get it, bro. I like when it comes to players getting money, it's like I don't know. I think
he's getting his money though.
This
isn't a normal conversation you and I are having. I get it, but don't use that though. This ain't a conversation about player empowerment and entitlement. This is showing you what it is. This is actual fact-based. This is fact-based player empowerment and entitlement. This isn't a 10-year veteran.
Empowerment in this case, please.
This isn't a 10-year veteran that we're using in that conversation that you have an argument about. I get that part. This is a rookie who we got you in the first round based on potential because of our scenario. So let me finite this. You're in the locker room. You and I are in the locker room. We're veterans on the Bengals. We draft this rookie knowing that we got a guy, Trey Henderson, who led the league in sacks, who may or may not be with us. So we got to go get a pass rusher in the draft. We go on potential to get this young rookie. He refuses to come to practice with us, and we're all looking at him a certain type of way because we're drafted you in the first round, homie. You're going to get first round money. You're going to get more money than a lot of 3rd-year guys as a first round pick, and you don't want to practice even in OTAs.
He's refusing to practice for what though? What's the reason? But
my point is, he could have went to OTAs though, right?
No,
he could have. What do you mean? Yeah, he could have. And then right now,
make sense.
Minicamp. Well, yeah, he could have. Why not? He's a rookie. He's a rookie.
He's showing up and watching film, doing all that stuff. But I'm not gonna go out here and fuck my leg up. That's stupid. That's bad business, Jason. For real, I'm not trying to be funny.
Okay, so hold on. Why do you always defend? Let me turn it on you. Why are you always defending the prima donna, but not the organization who's also saying, "Hey, if you get hurt, homie, I got a first round pick on
That's
you.
not what we do. That's
Come
not what
on,
they
homie.
do. That's not what the league does with first round picks. If it was opposite, right, and every like this, if it was normal to have this specific provision in every rookie contract, and he was trying to do something different, I'm with you again. But it's not. It's opposite. Every other 31 other teams who had first round picks with their guys, they have guaranteed money. They do not have this provision. They sign and they moved on. The Bengals, for whatever reason, out of all the teams, is the one team who wanted to slip in this little provision. Probably thought he wasn't going to really read it through all the way. His agent and his team saw it all the way and tried to get one over on him. It didn't work, and now they're in this position. My thing is, he's not doing anything wrong for asking for a regular, normal rookie first-round contract that every other first-round rookie, every peer he has from every other team who got drafted in the first round has. What's prima donna about that? Is prima donna to not go out there and just take whatever they want to hand you? Is prima donna to get what's yours, homie? It ain't my fault that you got a situation with Trey Henderson and you trying to. They ain't got nothing to do with me, homie. That's your business. That's your shit. Me and mine. I'm worried about me and mine. In my contract and my situation, I'm not asking for a dollar or a cent more. Take this provision out. I will sign today, and I will be on the field to practice tomorrow. It's that simple. That's not his fault. I'm sorry. This has nothing to do with players versus coaches. This is about what's right and what's wrong. Point blank, period.
Smitty, I just noticed something. Bailey, if you could find it, but it looks like there's been an injury on the football field of a young wide receiver, promising one that Shaun King loves to death. Looks like he got injured at practice.
Jax.
About 30 minutes ago, Brian Thomas Jr. looks to have been carted off the football field.
Man, for real.
I agree with you, Alan. He's got to fucking earn the shit. Go earn your fucking stripes. Tell me you're a rookie acting like you're a 30-year veteran. That's the problem I have. I'm always going to have that problem. Smitty and I are always going to.
Brian Thomas wasn't carted off. He doesn't have a leg injury. He has a shoulder injury. Landed on it, and there's not really much update as of yet. But
okay,
there's an update.
Thanks for that.
Thomas. Also, Xavier Legette's dealing with the foot thing. He was meeting with Panthers doctors as well. So that's big injuries in the NFL.
Alan, one day can you call in, Alan? Because, I know you were JB's player. You're one of our loyal supporters. Appreciate you. I want you to call in one day because you said he got to earn it, though. Earn what? This is the rookie deal you signed before you go out there and play. This is the standard contract. What is he earning? I don't understand. Like, what are you talking about, Alan? Like, seriously, sometimes I think y'all just be saying stuff just to be on JB's side. This don't make sense. He's not asking for earn what? So all the other rookies didn't have to earn when they signed their contract, first round, who got drafted, they had to earn that. All of the first rounders, they didn't have to earn theirs. But this one guy, Shamar, has to earn his. What?
I'm with Alan all day. I'm with Alan all day. You know why? Because at the end of the day, you keep dismissing the fact that he was drafted first and is going to get first round dollar at the end of the day.
I want all my dollars locked in for sure, guaranteed.
He's getting all his dollars. Why do you keep moving the needle? He's getting all his dollars, homie. Like seriously, he's getting all his dollars. Like, why do you keep making it about dollars? He's not getting no more money, homie.
It's the guarantees that matter in the NFL. I don't care what the contract say. You see contract, it say 5 years, 120 million. It's not the 120 million. How much guarantee do I got? That's what counts, homie. Fuck the 120. Most guys ain't seeing all that. I want the guaranteed.
First round picks get guaranteed dollars. Don't talk to me about signing bonuses and extra incentives. We're not talking about that.
I'm not either.
We're talking about the first round dollar cap. There's no more he can get as a rookie. Okay, so why are we continuing to talk about like he's going to get more money and he's in a contract negotiation?
Who is saying that?
But you keep saying dollars and then you want all your money. He's going to get all his money. That's my point.
Jason, what does the word guaranteed mean to you? Can you define it? No,
he's guaranteed to get his money. He's guaranteed to get his money, though.
What does guaranteed mean?
They want literature. They want literature.
What does guaranteed mean?
Guaranteed. Promise. My money. Mine.
Okay. So guaranteed mean no matter what, I'm getting it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this language they have is not
And,
making
and listen, everybody keeps talking about void the contract if he gets hurt. No, it says it's owed back money if he's hurt after year 1.
Hold on. So that means stop. So that means what, Jason? So guaranteed means we define guaranteed, number 1. Number 2, we just read the literature in his contract, which says if he gets hurt, he has to pay back money.
Can
so
I ask you?
2 things together, 2 things can't be true. It
Can
can't
I
be
ask you
guaranteed,
what-
and I'm
what-
paying money back. It don't make sense.
No. The guaranteed is still guaranteed, homie. The guaranteed is still guaranteed, Smitty. I don't understand. I don't think you guys. I don't know. I don't think the small brains in the chat understand.
I'm stupid as fuck.
The guaranteed money is still getting guaranteed. They're saying after year 1, you have an injury, we get dollars back of other incentivized contractual agreed money, not the first round guaranteed dollar. Like you're going to get your first round money, homie. It's an NFL rule. It's not a team rule. So I don't understand why you're worried about him practicing because of the guarantee. The guarantee's happening regardless. Like I don't understand why you don't understand that part is what I'm trying to reach at. Guarantee money's coming. He's going to get that money. Like I'm just telling you. No D Jones. The literature for what they're trying to do after year 1 is their team rule. The guarantee is a first round pick by the NFL money. He's getting his first round money, homie. Like that. There's no difference in money. Smitty, you've already agreed, right? He cannot get no more money.
Yeah.
Okay, so that money's guaranteed. It's going to his pocket. I don't understand the argument when we're talking about a stipulation.
Because
it's not a guaranteed discussion.
I hear you.
It's not. I'm just telling you. We're talking about 2 different things, I think.
We need to get who the white boy used to come Chase. We need to get Chase back on here. We need to get Chase come on here. He'll break this whole shit down to you. He'll do his walk
fast.
He'll be walking. He's like, no. He's like, you know what, Darnell, you're actually right, but you're missing 1 point here. So the thing is, and he'll go through the whole while he walking, and then you be like, oh, okay, cool.
Why he's walking through a riot in Dallas,
like the whole shit, just calm and cool though.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chase.
See, I'm reading that Brian Thomas was helped off the field, not carted off. He was helped off the field after landing hard on his shoulder. Hopefully, it's not a major injury. Didn't he hurt his shoulder last year?
I don't know. I don't watch the Jags. You guys, D Jones.
No, I'm looking right now. I see Dr. Jesse Morris talking in 2024. Bailey, do you know? Did he get an injury in his shoulder last year? I think he got an injury on his shoulder last year. D Jones, did he get hurt last year on his shoulder? D Jones said no, he didn't. D Jones said no, he didn't. Anything happens for the Jags, no, they didn't. All right.
Let's keep this thing flowing. Let's keep this thing flowing and rolling. Speaking of health issues and injuries and situations, Coach Prime, man, Deion Sanders has been away from the team. My fault. Got confused. Anyway, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, has been away from the team while dealing with an unspecified illness. Sanders has remained at his house in Texas while Colorado football camp has begun in Boulder. We don't have any actual details of the illness right now, so it's kind of all just speculation. But I know this kind of goes back to some earlier takes from years ago that JB was having as far as like just being concerned about his health long term and not thinking or knowing if he'd be able to coach that long because, you know, he had to get the foot, his toes cut off and the blood clots and just lingering issues. So, JB, I guess what are your just initial thoughts based upon what we just currently know?
That's the problem. We don't know anything, which is always, to me, going to be a concern. Because he's not at camp right now. He's not there. And anytime the head coach isn't there with his players, that's a concern to me. We can all act as if nothing's wrong. He's okay. We see tweets and all that. No, he's not, because he's not there. So I hope the best for Deion, and that this is not a injury or illness that will hold him out from coaching after his sons have left. But I did say this years ago, there's a reason why Colorado won't be able to hold him very long, because of the blood issue that he has after losing a few toes. That actually is hard. I had a doctor on the show, not Dr. Jesse Morris, but someone that actually amputates ankles, feet, and legs. And they're like, it's 100% foregone conclusion that it's going to continue to climb upwards. Unfortunately, that's what happens when you lose limbs or toes or digits. The next thing goes is your ankle, then your knee and your leg. My grandpa had the same thing happen, unfortunately. One of the greatest iconic players ever. I love watching him. I think he's the top 2 player ever in the NFL. Him and Lawrence Taylor, in my opinion, would be 1 and 2. But anyway, this being said, I hope he can coach. But at the end of the day, this is why I said it years ago. There's a reason why he's in Texas right now, which is a lot hotter. There's a reason why he's not in Colorado coaching the team. So that's the concern. I mean, that's just the brass tacks of it. Like, we can try to defend that he's okay, blah, blah, blah. Well, he would be at practice. So he's not okay. So that's the problem that is concerning for everybody out there that have wished him well. That's the issue that I have. And Colorado should be very concerned as well, because this could be a huge, huge issue if he's not healthy enough to go forward, Smitty.
No, for sure. And I mean, I see this tweet right here. He's thanking everybody for supporting and well wishes. And he said, once he gets back to Boulder, he will update us on actually what's going on. So, hopefully in the next week or so, we'll actually hear, what the situation is and what happened. And but it sounds like he's planning on being back shortly. So hopefully it ends up being a situation where it's not that big of a deal. But to your point, though, JB, like, you don't just leave your team in summer for anything. Like, it's not like some little thing. At least I'm not saying there's something major, but it also ain't just like nothing. Like, it's something in the middle where it's serious enough where you said, damn, I need to go back home for a minute. I need to see my personal doctors. Like, it's something, so prayers up for him and hope he's okay. And we'll hear more news from that.
Yeah, you're not going to get the problem is you're not going to get, like, players are going to, if this were happening at Ball State when you played or anytime I played, and when I was at Indy and I didn't show up for one day, a little less, several.
Right. You like,
start a summer camp or summer ball, especially after you got new portal kids after spring ball ended and the portal opened, and now you got a new set of guys. I'm sure that he would want to be there. So I don't know if it's not concerning for that locker room. This is a huge deal, in my opinion, because the team, as you know, you would be the same thing. Like, man, where's Coach at?
Coach Lumbo ain't been here. Where you at? Like,
yeah, and it starts to like resonate throughout the locker room, and questions start to get asked, and that's not good for your locker room. Not in June. I mean, before we know it, it's August, Smitty. I mean, look at this year has gone by so fast. Before we know it, it's August, and we're getting ready for game 1. And that's 2 months away, Smitty.
Yeah, no, it's right around the corner. The only thing I would say it's not even like a defense situation, but the only, like, I guess, other angle I would say is that around this time, they're really with their strength coach. Like, just being real, like, they're out here running 110s, doing speed to power drills, lifting. Like, I remember when I was at Ball State, I was not really with Coach Limbo that much right now, but I would still see him, of course. Like, hey, Coach, how you doing? He's in his office. He'll come out and kind of watch and see, a few things what we're doing on the field. But, like, it was really us, and at the time, my coach, Dave Philly. Like, that's the majority who you're with up until we get to the point where we're doing, like, actual football drills. And then, like, the coaches will be out there with you and, doing stuff like that. But it's heavy strength and conditioning coach at this point. But again, it's still, with all that being said, it's never a good sign when your coach leaves. I don't really care what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I disagree with that take, but yeah, I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying, because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. The head coach not being there, guess what? You know what assistants like to do?
Bullshit.
And the structure of the program and the structure that you've instilled is not ever going to be the same without you. It's just a nature of humans. It's not a shot at anybody. And I'm not saying that Colorado citizens are incompetent or incapable.
No, you're right.
The fact of the matter is the players have no clue what's happening on a day-to-day basis when the coaches aren't around them. Just because you're with strength conditioning, you're doing, 110s and you're getting in the summer shape, doesn't mean that the head coach's presence isn't felt and doesn't permeate throughout the whole entire program, because guess what? The assistants right now aren't walking around with pressure, and pressure bursts pipes. And I want the best out of my assistants throughout this process, because, like I said, we're 2 months away. So if the when the cat's away, the mice will play, and that's just fact. It's just a fact. The cat's away, the mice will play, and that goes for every assistant in America. You can't tell me there's not a staff that if Nick Saban left, even though those guys were, obviously former head coaches and current head coaches and future head coaches, guess what?
Right.
The cat's away, the mice will play. I'm going to go see my wife more. I'm going to go see my kids more. I'm going to go see. Not a bad thing, but if that's not what we do, then guess what? That's not what we do.
I'm gonna leave the facility an hour earlier than I usually would do, or I'm gonna say, at any level, you're right.
And then guess what we get? And then Deion's getting texts that he usually don't get because, what's happening in the door? Hey, what's happening in the door? What's going on, homie? Why we got whoa? And then he's over eating with the kids and shit. I'm just saying, cats away, the mice will play. That's just a known common. We use that as a saying in the coaching profession. And I used to come in and tell my staff, like, so the cat's away, the mice will fucking play, because I'll always get some sort of report when I wasn't around. I would be let's say I had to go to the head coaches meetings in Wichita, Kansas, 3 hours away. And guess what? I was gone from 4 a.m. till 10 p.m. So I missed that day because the meetings are 8 hours long. It was a 3-hour drive each way. That's 14 hours. So I'm gone. So guess what? I got fucking reports every single time I did that. I'm just gonna be honest. Like it's something different.
Mm-hmm.
So this is
it's like that at any level. It's almost even
any
like
level, any level.
If you're a student at school and you got a
substitute teacher.
Oh, you about to clown. Oh, so and so. It's always like that. So you're right.
Throwing planes and shit. I'm just saying that's the truth of the matter. And this is a huge deal. And I think people are downplaying it that don't understand it. In full totality. I don't think they understand the inner workings of a program and structure. And if kids know the CEO is there on campus, if they can't see him or not, they are less likely to do some stupid shit, even if they don't see him. They know Coach JB is on campus, but I don't see him today. Don't mean shit. I used to go days without seeing my players in the spring. I'll take it back. So I led the weight room at 5 a.m. And I'm just motherfucking them. And I did by purpose. I wouldn't let them see me again the rest of the day. But I never left campus. But I wouldn't let you see me again, especially if we had a bad day and I'm motherfucking everybody and I ran everybody. That's by design. I know Nick Saban was that way, and I know Pete Carroll was that way in college. There is literally a science to that shit. You don't want to come to my office unless what? It's a good thing. Because if you're coming to my office by getting called, not a good thing, homie. You shouldn't be coming to my office during the year, during the off season or winter conditioning or spring or whatever. Now you'll see me more in spring ball. You'll see me more, and I'll still be me and do my nurturing and real talk life stuff. But I'm not doing. You're not going to have free access to me all day long after that 5 a.m. weight room class session, because I'm motherfucking you. That's when we get better in the off season. Championships are won in the off season, not in the season. And that. So it is what it is. But I think it's a huge deal. I think a lot of people are downplaying it because he's not there. It's only this. It's only that. That's the common prime sexual fan base that Colorado has now inherited, which is obviously a Deion Sanders fan base. So obviously they all care, rightfully so, for Deion, their hero and their mentor and all that. I get that. But at the same time, this is a huge deal for people that actually know the business.
Couldn't agree more. Let's move on to another legend. Lee Corso, ESPN's College Game Day picks Ohio State versus Texas for Lee Corso's final show in week 1, man. Big time matchup.
Well, let me get this right, Smitty. He's showing up for one event and he's done?
I think so. I believe so.
Or is it his last year?
No, I think this is like last game. Last year we started kind of seeing some signs of just, I don't want to throw out anything specific, but we just saw that the old age was creeping up. So I think they're going to just do week 1, get them one more, just kind of, show of respect. Let them put his your dig on one more time, his mascot hat on or whatever, and then move on. So, he's a legend. He's a big reason that I would watch College Game Day. Obviously, the other guys on there are good as well. No disrespect, of course. But I'm just saying, like, Lee Corso's presence, like, it's almost like in a different way. he reminds me of how like Charles Barkley, his impact for like NBA on TNT. Different personalities, of course. I'm not comparing them as people. I'm just saying as far as like being so important for that one show. Like Lee Corso, his presence will be felt after week 1, once he's gone, for sure. So I'm glad they're doing something fun. It's a big time game, obviously. Texas, Ohio State. So he's gonna go out the right way. And man, he deserves all of his flowers for sure.
Yeah, it's probably going to be some crazy emotional thing. It's probably not a game to watch if you want to hear real good commissary with the game callers, because they're going to be, Kirk Street and McAfee. Yeah. Those guys are going to be all torn up.
McAfee going to bring it back up, though. Like, he might get emotional, but then he going to stand on top of the table and Corso, and grabbing beers and stuff. So, how McAfee, how he is. So,
hey, Smitty, who is Dua Lipa?
Oh, that name. Is that a music artist, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I know about the person. I don't actually know her, but I just heard the name.
Bet US is doing a future bet that she headlines the Super Bowl halftime show this year. Never heard of her. Yeah.
What are the odds?
I don't know. They just said speculation is heating up. Dua Lipa set to headline the Super Bowl 2026 halftime show. Would you be hyped for Dua Lipa halftime show?
It's in Vegas, right?
I haven't seen the odds yet. I'm gonna try to see the odds. I've never heard of her, so I would I'd probably bet that she's not.
No, she's a big name. Let me see. Super Bowl is where? Oh, Super Bowl. It's in the Bay. It's in the Bay Area this next year. I might have to pull up, huh? Dua Lipa. Nah, I wouldn't bet that. I'll do it. Jay-Z runs the show and stuff like that. I don't think he's gonna pick Dua Lipa for the Bay. He probably gonna pick like E40 or something.
Yeah, I think like too short would be.
It might be too short. He might pick a group how he did LA. How he had Snoop, Dre, and everybody. It might be like too short. Eat 40 water. He might pick like just some Bay Area people all come out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad. The rest of the country would be mad because they don't like that. That Bay Area swag. But
go dumb, stupid. Yeah. That's kind of hard.
Yeah, they don't. They're not used to that. They don't know about that 808 baseline. Yeah.
Let's keep it going on, man. My Colts, new owner, Carly Irsay, obviously Jim Irsay's daughter. Carly Irsay Gordon, explains why she's on the sideline with a headset. And
hold on. What's going on?
So my team, coach owner, Carly Irsay Gordon, explains why she's on the sideline with a headset and a call sheet. She says
right now at practice?
She's been doing this for years, for over a decade. She said, I need to be able to say, is this person full of BS? Do they even know what they're talking about? And she said, I would suggest it for anyone else that has to pay head coaches and GMs millions and millions of dollars. It helps you make a less expensive mistake. It is such a complex organism, a football team, and how it operates. You could say that person ran the wrong route, learning that, someone tagged the wrong receiver and it wasn't really the player's fault. It was a person that called it. So what she's saying is when you're running an organization, you need to understand every aspect of it so you can make the right decision. So she's been wearing the headset for over even back in 2012, 2013, when our guy, what's our guy? I'm having a brain fart. Goes on McAfee show, was fighting cancer. Our former head coach. Thank you, Chuck Pagano. Thank you, Bradley. When he was like the coach, I think when she was young and she was just trying to learn, she would have the headset on just to learn and listen and understand the game more. Which on a serious note, I kind of know where you're about to go. I respect it though. Like if you're gonna own a team, I want you to know football. I think there's a lot of owners who don't know football at all. And they're
I get a bad rap. I get a bad rap. Anyway,
you've earned everything on that.
Hey, so look, I know you want Alan to call in and shit and go against what you say, but Alan actually used to drive a limo, and he used to drive Irsay all the time, and he got to meet and he got to have a relationship with Jim Irsay and her right here, his daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Alan,
had Alan call in for real then and talk about it. That would have been dope.
Yeah. Alan, what you said she was a nice lady, huh? Because you got to know him, so that's real shit. So Alan, shout out to Alan.
One of you guys saw Reggie Wayne was so emotional speaking about after the death, man. He was like, man, just so Jim Irsay, he had his flaws, but we respect him in Indy.
So look, she's the owner. She could do what she wants. She was the owner's daughter, and I'm not against her learning the game as a daughter of an owner of an NFL franchise. It would actually be, I'd be more worried if she didn't. I'm actually happy she did get in tune with the game. Now, is she going to sit out there and tell my staff what the fuck they know? No. So stop with that. That's cap. I don't want to hear that shit. So don't get all hyped yet, Smitty.
She didn't say she was doing that. She didn't say that.
Yes, she did. You just read it.
She just saying she wants to just have the information just so at the end of the year, whatever, when it's time to hire and fire, she's been listening the whole damn year, the whole time, and she knows the game to at least a decent enough level to where she can make better decisions.
Yeah, but she says she wants to know if the guys on the headsets know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you know what you're doing. Yeah. Like that means you are a master coach. No. I'm just saying, because a master coach actually knows all the inner workings of what's going on inside of an organization, homie. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you don't hear me. You're listening. Right?
No, I got you.
Right? I'm telling you, a master coach knows everything that goes on, from O-line to D-line, especially. And knows how to put it together, blah, 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 blah. So,
I hate you, bro. I don't, but get on my nerves.
I got something in my eye.
I know you do.
I'm saying so you're thinking she's a master because she knows exactly what Chuck Pagano was discussing on the headsets with, great time Tom Moore.
I think she can go on a whiteboard and draw some shit up.
Fuck Peyton, you know what the fuck you're doing? Why don't you take the hitch ball versus quarters? You think she's like that?
All I'm saying is she's been learning and listening for over a decade. So just like Jenny Buss, she learned from the great Dr. Buss. And we know how she was. She was learning every aspect of I think she knows more than what you think. I'm not saying she's a coach. She's not a coach. So her job ain't to coach, but her job is to hire the coaches and fire the coaches. So it would, to your earlier point, you're on the right track, Jason. It would make no sense for you to have no knowledge of what's going on with your staff. How can you fire somebody and you have no idea? A lot of these teams are doing that.
I'm actually turned on by this picture. No offense to Jim Irsay and his daughter, but I'm actually
it's a good looking picture of her for sure.
I just like the sex. It's a sexy look. I would love it, Halloween or something. I would love for her to dress up like that, come into the house. You know what I'm saying? With her feet, with her shoes on, no barefoot or black eye or nothing. Beat up at a UFC fight. This is sexy right here. I like this. That's a tomboy. See the difference?
She would never want you though.
She's dressed up like a tomboy right here. That's a huge difference than what we were talking about the other day. So that's a tomboy look right here. That's sexy. So, that's all I'm saying. But kudos to her. She's the owner now. She's the owner now. She has a huge responsibility, and she's now accountable for everything that's going on there. So I'm glad she does know the inner workings of what's going on. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to coaching wise, I think she's a little bit, stepped out when she said, I'm going to make sure they know what they're doing coaching, but I get what she's doing. And
it's her and her two sisters. They all own it, but she's going to be more. She's really the more the face, the decision.
Yeah. I also seen a lot of women ruin franchises. We're seeing it in LA with Jeannie Buss, and we've seen it.
She just won a championship a few years ago. Say what we want. It's still a banner.
Well, you're the one that said it. What it was. I actually said it was harder to win that one. You're the one that said it.
I don't think it is, but I'm saying from her perspective, it don't matter what I think. She got a banner up.
I would love to teach her the game. I would love to teach her the game if she wants to hit me up. I would love to sit down with her privately and teach her the game.
Who, Jenny Buss?
Huh?
Who, Jenny Buss?
No, her.
Nah, she's good. She's married too, so respect. You guys are expecting wives on me. People really
how did I disrespect their wife? How did I disrespect their wife? I said I'll sit down with her and teach her the game, mommy.
Why you gotta sit down with her? Why can't you do it via Zoom?
It's not the same. You can't Zoom somebody to teach them right, homie.
Try that first, at least. Her last name is Carly Irsay. I can't say Irsay for nothing. Irsay. Carly Irsay Gordon. So her husband's probably last name is Gordon. So respect the husband.
The Jeff Gordon?
I don't know who her husband is, but she's married, obviously. So leave her, like, chill out a little bit.
I also seen a woman ruin a franchise that I'm near and dear to my heart. If Indianapolis Colts are near and dear to your heart, it's the Rams are near and dear to my heart, as everybody knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a youngster, I got to see a woman absolutely bury the LA Rams in Georgia Frontier. So I've seen women ruin franchises. So shout out to her. Hopefully she doesn't ruin your franchise, Smitty. And she can recover from AR5. What was that?
Alan said, if you think she look good, he'll put you on. He plugged in with the Irsays.
Damn, I forgot about that.
That was saying.
Smitty, how's that? Alan, you know anything about the relate? Oh, yeah. Anyway, I'll hit you later. Let's dive into the next thing, Smitty.
Let's do it, man. Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, obviously he showed up at minicamp, signed his contract, and he had, was talked to the press about why the Steelers are a good fit for him. Check this out.
Right fit for you? I think it starts with Mike Tomlin. I mean, I've been a fan of his for a long time. There's a few iconic franchises in the NFL. I played for one of them for 18 years. This is another one of those. There's something special about, obviously, this area. So many great quarterbacks are from Pittsburgh. I feel like Pittsburgh has been a part of my career from the beginning. Playing for Mike McCarthy for 13 years, having Tommy Clements, depending on how old you are, as my quarterback coach forever. Dom Capers, Kevin Green, Darren Perry, Ben McAdoo, Frank Signetti, Luke Getsy. I don't want to forget anybody, but a lot of Yinzers in my life.
McPhee, AJ Hawk, Ohio. Smitty, the big discussion, though, I'm hearing is what's on his left finger there.
That man's married. Say he's been married for months now.
I'm glad nobody know about it.
Keep it low key. I like that. The word on the street is the girl's name is Brittany. That's the word on the street. And
I heard the name on the street is Aaron.
I heard it was I heard it was Brittany, and I heard it was spelled with like an N-I, like BRITTANI. And you know what? If that's true, you know that
say it. You say she's a sister?
It's a sister if it's N-I.
You're not. Brittany with an I. I know so many white girls with I.
Shit, bullshit, you don't.
Real shit.
Every Brittany with an I know is a sister.
Nah, most Britneys with EY are sisters. Keep it real.
Well, there's some EYs for sure, but the I, bro, I don't know.
So did he marry Brittany Griner on me?
Hold on. What? Go back. You said you heard it was Aaron earlier. What are you trying to say? What are you doing?
What?
I'm just connecting the dots. Because when we first brought up him being married, you said you heard it was to another Aaron. Aaron, like with an E, like Aaron, ERIN. Like, like Aaron, or you mean like what Aaron we talk like what Aaron are you talking about?
Florida State? Huh?
Sheena quit?
Nah.
Huh?
No, macro.
Wow.
Married himself, homie.
Now that's macro. That's macro, homie. That was good. That's some of your best work. That's some of your... Knowing Aaron Rodgers, he would marry himself. Fuck, the JB might be a genius. Huh.
You can't tell me Aaron Rodgers got married. Nobody know about it. Stop the gap. He didn't go to Pitt. He was in fucking Gaza Strip, pyramids, ayahuasca retreat. No way. Nobody knew.
No pictures, no videos, nothing.
No way. Nope.
Can you marry yourself technically?
Yep. Somebody has done it before.
So is he gonna change his last name or just keep it the same? Like, is it Aaron Rodgers now, or is it just Aaron Rodgers? You getting deep right now, homie. Aaron Rodgers married himself.
There's been people that have married themselves, homie.
Talk about ego.
Didn't Britney Spears marry herself?
I don't know what Britney Spears did. Prayers up to her too. Every time I see her, she just doing some weird,
She's EY.
I'm like, damn, Britney, you all right? It's sad to hear too. Like, she used to be like a mega star. I know, like, baby generation, like all they see is her now. She was a superstar when I was growing up. Like, she was like on the Beyonce level.
Dennis Rodman married himself, no?
He did have that dress. He married himself, but he married like a basketball. He did some weird shit.
I don't know, but
that's your favorite player. He had a dress on there.
Can't wait to see what happens, because obviously it ain't gonna be held too long without nobody knowing. So shout out to him for holding it down this long.
Yep.
But I'm sure it's somebody. I don't know who. I'm sure she's somebody though, right?
Probably so. Yeah,
I would hope she's a nobody. I love that, because those are the ones that actually last. And I don't mean nobody like that. I just
mean like a chill, no name, like not a popular superstar, just like a regular everyday person. Yeah,
I don't think these guys ever do it anymore, like, because they don't meet those people or see them. They're not around just regular folks anymore. It's always some sort of dick measuring contest, Hollywood. Fucking, I gotta marry someone else. I just hope it ain't somebody that we're gonna be like, oh fuck, he married who?
Right.
She got ran through. You know what I'm saying? I hope it ain't that.
Well, D. Jones said that on the McAfee show, Rodgers said that she doesn't have any social media. So she could just be ducked off. It might be a good sign. But in bigger news, though, for that, seeing him in the Pittsburgh Steelers jersey, like, how do you feel? Like, do you think this will end up being like will he go out with a bang? Like, will this be a good season for the Steelers? Will they improve? Or will we see another, 9-8, 10-7 year where they're barely making the playoffs and they lose in the first round?
I think he's going to have a great year. I don't think the team's that good, though. I just don't think the team is that good. I don't think there's the weapons out there available for him right now to get better. It's too late. You lost Pickens, which all we can talk about is we could put it in the same situation as the whole Diggs discussion and, oh, he's a shitbird, blah, 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 but he's still an elite player. At the end of the day, that's the best player. I think Pickens would have been fine with Aaron Rodgers. That's what I was hoping to see. I was actually hoping to see Pickens and DK with Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers, there's not a dumb enough wideout in America that's going to piss off that guy throwing him the ball. Like, that's the thing I wanted to see. So having lost him, I don't know if Fairmove's good enough at tight end. I don't know if the old.
You got DK though. You got DK.
That's what I'm saying. It's only one guy. I don't know. They got a young rookie, I think, is pretty good, or a first year guy, or whatever his name is. I don't know their names at all, but
I'm trying to look at their schedule, see how hard their schedule.
I think he has a good year. I think he's going to be better than anyone else thinks. I think he's actually going to ball. I think he's going to have a great year, actually, but I don't know if the
define ball. Like, you say he's going to throw for over 4,000 yards, 30+ touchdowns, single-digit picks.
Yeah, I think that.
Okay.
He had 3,828 touchdowns last year on a bad team. I think he has a good year. Now, it depends, though. Are those stats going to be inflated because they're getting blown out? Or
right, context matters.
They just got to get someone else. I don't know if they're going to get Lazard. I don't know if there's another wideout out there they can get. I don't know if there's another guy out there. I don't know who else is available. I don't think there's a wideout available.
I ain't gonna lie to you, though. I could see, now again, we don't know, it's June, but I could see the Steelers starting off like 5-0. They got the Jets, number one game, first game of the season. That's gonna be a big game, a lot of emotions, obviously. But they got the Jets, first game of the season. They could win that game. Then they got Bailey Seahawks. We don't really know what the Seahawks. The Seahawks, they lost a lot too. They got Darnold there. It's a lot of moving parts, but they're at home. I like Pittsburgh there. Then they got the Patriots. We think the Patriots are going to be better, but again, they're still missing a lot. They're still kind of rebuild phase. Now they got the Vikings. Now the Vikings was really good last year, but we don't know anything about J.J. McCarthy. He's basically a rookie, so I can't just say without a doubt the Vikings are going to win that game. I have no idea. Then they got the Cleveland Browns. We don't know who they're going to have a quarterback. It's going to either be a rookie or an old Flacco. and then they got the Bengals and Cincy. So I'm just saying, like, would you be shocked if they won those first 5 games? I wouldn't. So they could start off hot. Who is that? Is that DK?
We'll see.
With the 4? He wearing 4?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That looks interesting. I've never seen a 4 receiver, I don't think, in my life. He might be the first 4.
Yeah. You know what I don't get?
Receiver, starter.
You know what I don't get? Bailey, pop in here, Bailey.
Yeah, it's probably in Bailey.
I gotta check the your comments in the private chat. The Seahawks are horrible. That's your team. That's your city.
Yeah, they traded all those guys.
You know what? I gotta get the irony out of the way here. I gotta ask you why you say that. Because here's the reason why. I don't believe we really are sitting here thinking deep enough in this conversation. I'm not a McDonald fan. You know that. You and I had the same discussion. What I don't understand by the common folk out here, though, that is these guys on this public media and the big mainstream media. So let me get this right. The Seahawks are worse with Darnold, but the Vikings are better with JJ.
I didn't talk about the Vikings.
I know you did. I know.
Don't group me with that. But.
No, I know you did. But that's why I'm saying. See, I think the Seahawks are better with Darnold. I think the Vikings are worse with JJ. But no one has been able to bring that up. No one's brought that up. Everyone keeps saying the Seahawks are bad with Darnold. Why are they worse, but JJ makes the Vikings better? No, stop. Miss me. I think the Seahawks are going to be better than people think. I think they're going to be better than what people think, actually. And I think that JJ is going to bury the Vikings. That's my personal opinion.
You think so? Shaun King loves them for some reason, though.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I do think that. I do think that, and I don't know why people keeps the narrative out there is the Seahawks are worse with Darnold and the Vikings are better with JJ, and it's the fucking dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Well, I don't care about I think JJ McCarthy is going to be pretty damn good. I think the Vikings are loaded, so I don't agree with you there. My thing was, I think Geno Smith is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold, head over heels. I also think Seattle kind of gutted their offense, so I got to see it to believe it with them. That's why I said that. So,
gotcha.
Good take. Love it.
Man, we got a legend in the house, and I can't thank him enough, man, for hopping in here with us. You guys have seen him on, I'm sure, College Game Day and everywhere else. But our main man joining the show this morning to talk about all things, especially College Game Day. Our main man, Chris Fallica, joins the show. Chris, how you doing, brother?
What's going on? I'm doing pretty well. What's going on?
Man, I appreciate you hopping in here. Big Bear, tell McAfee when you see him in Herb Street that they are slap dicks.
We will.
That's from me. They know what that means. Love them to death. Thank you for jumping on here, man, with us. Let me ask you this. How did you get into this, picking these games and becoming these household names? Is it your personality that took over, you think, the swag, or is it you're hitting those games?
I think it might be a little bit of both. I mean, I go back to, I always tell people the thing I was most proud of during my time on game day was the fact that we kind of didn't beat around the bush. We weren't naive. We knew people were betting on games, even though it wasn't legal to do so. We would look and we would slide in like this is expected to be the lowest scoring game of the day, according to those in the desert. But in those production meetings that we would have in the conversations and watching games on the bus, Kirk and Chris and Lee Fitting, the producer, they knew my passion for the sport. They knew my knowledge of betting. They knew my passion of like being able to look at things, and they just figured out a way. How do we capture this on television? And ultimately, we figured out a way to get me spontaneously involved in picking these games and coming across us like the average loud New York sports fan, waving his hands all over the place, getting wound up off the cuff, and figured out a good little device with the board. And it worked out pretty well. The first couple of years, we did really well. We had a couple of down years, but then moving on to Fox, we figured out a couple of other ways to get it in as well. But yeah, I think it's a combination of both, doing well and figuring out a way to do it in an entertaining way.
No, I love it. Smitty calls. He's gonna get back in here. He works at Fox as well, so he covers Paul Pierce and Michael Irvin, everybody there. But I got to ask you, how much has Lee Corso meant to you? And what is it going to be like after that game, that last final game that he's going to call there against Texas Ohio State? How much has he meant to you, and how important is that one game right there that's going to send him off into into lore, legendary.
Well, Lee is the reason I have my nickname. Kirk and I were having brunch one day in a restaurant in a hotel lobby, and looking like I am now with a t-shirt on and haven't shaved yet. And anyone who had seen Kirk and I eat knows that any dead space on the table is a complete waste. So we got stuff on the table. Lee comes wandering in off of his morning walk, and he stops and, "Hey, Chris Felica, Kirk Herbstreit, how you guys doing?" And he looks at the table, and he looks at me, and he looks at Kirk, he looks at the table, and looks at me again, and he just stands there and shakes his head, and he's like, "Look at you, Felica. You're like a big bear. You eat, you sleep, you shit, you take a nap, you do it all over again." So the bear kind of stuck after that. But no, joking aside,
I love it.
Lee has been someone in my career that always supported me. I talked about Kirk and Chris and Lee Fitting, but of course, one of the fun things that Lee always used to do when we would walk into our meeting, he would come make a beeline, come right over to me, and we used to have the friends at the keys. His code for who do you like is for the friends at the country club, and he would come in and kind of come over, friends at the country club, and whisper in the ear, who do you like? So that was always fun. And Lee would kind of have a way of just putting things in a simplistic way of understanding things. He understood that. He was a coach for a long time. He dealt with a lot of people. Didn't like everybody, whether it was an AD, whomever. And he's like, "Look, you're not going to like everybody you come across in your life, but if they're in a position of respect, you have to respect the position." So you just kind of drop little knowledge things after that, like that. And I'm certainly hoping to get the opportunity to see him in Columbus. When it was announced that this was going to be his final show, everyone was kind of asking me, where do I think game day is going to go week one? And I said, the obvious thing is going to be just where it first started. My first love is going to be my last pick, or something like that. When he started in '96 with Ohio State, Penn State that year, and then wrap it up with Ohio State, Texas. There was a little bit of thought that maybe they would go to Florida State, where he played as well, but I think in terms of the headgear and his career on game day, I think they're, unfortunately for us at Big Noon, we're going to be there as well. But for game day and for that show, for Lee, it certainly makes a lot of sense there. And Lee is someone that I keep in touch with after the Super Bowl pregame show this year. I literally was in the cab on the way back to the hotel. Lee calls me. "Oh, I saw you on the pregame show. It was terrific. I'm so proud of you. It's amazing what you're doing." So Lee is someone that you discover when you move jobs and you move around, who are your coworkers and who are your friends. Lee is a friend for life, that's for sure.
No doubt. I know you can't predict it, but the emotional roller coaster that show will probably be something you can't describe. Huh?
It's going to be. Kirk is an emotional guy to begin with. Reese is an emotional guy. Dez is an emotional guy. I would imagine even Pat is an emotional guy. Nick, I don't know as well because he came in the year after I left, but I've worked with him a couple of times. But I think that is going to be a very difficult show and a very difficult final segment for those guys to get through. That's for sure.
No doubt.
Man, again, thank you again for hopping on here. Sorry I had to do a quick refresh. My Wi-Fi was acting a little wonky there. Let me ask you this: how much time do you actually spend, or does it take, to become this genius when it comes to sports gambling? Walk us through that process for you as you're trying to prepare and figure out the odds and who you like, who you don't like. I'm just curious of what that process is like.
Well, numbers have always been. In my life, I was the idiot sitting down in the summer when I was 10, 11, 12 years old, keeping the scorebook for a Yankees game. So numbers and things like that have always been a part of my life. And look, I probably got my start in betting like a lot of people did. Your dad would come home from either the deli or the auto body shop or whatever with those football parlay cards. And, hey, Craig, what a way to spend your allowance. Here, bet your $5 allowance on a 14 parlay card, and maybe you can turn your $5 into 50 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But I like trying to dissect games in a different manner. Like I didn't play football after high school, so it's not like I have this vast knowledge of the game, but I can interpret the numbers and what's going on to the field and kind of be like, oh, yeah, this might mean that this game could be close, even though people don't think it might be, or this is going to be a one-sided blowout and trying to interpret what a number is telling you. And I think the reason why I have a lot of success and maybe why I'm different from others is because I have a little bit of a contrarian mind. When a number looks like a favorite is a 2.5 point favorite, a lot of times people will be like, oh, if it's less than a field goal, I'm going to play the favorite, and if they win by a field goal, I win. And more often than not, that's not necessarily the case. I've actually had conversations with Chris Andrews, the legendary bookmaker at South Point, who's like, your intuition says take 3.5. And take 7.5, when in actuality, you should be laying 3.5 and laying 7.5 and taking 2.5 and taking 6.5, because it's kind of weird that way. So I'm just kind of looking at things in a little bit of a contrarian manner and trying to isolate different situations and different matchups. And one of my things that I like to do in the big database that I've built up throughout the years is just kind of isolate situations. Like people always will say, oh, how does this affect a game in 2018? How is that going to be equated to a game in 2024? And my response is the teams may change, but the types of teams and the situations remain the same. Like if you are an unranked team who is favored by 4.5, 5 points or whatever against a team that might be in the top 15, you go back and look, and more often than not, the team that is the unranked team and the favorite winds up being the right side in the game. So it's like finding these kind of situations where you can isolate an angle and a situation that, if you could back it up as well with statistics for this year, they normally work out more often than not.
I love that. Well, one more thing real quick, JB. I think it might have been earlier today, you actually wrote a piece for our amazing company, Fox Sports. And you were kind of talking about, like, a lot of people know you for your work with college football, but you actually have a passion in the World Cup, and betting on that as well. Can you kind of slightly dive into where that love came from as well?
Yeah, I always loved soccer growing up. It was weird though, because on Long Island where I grew up, soccer and football were played in high school at the same time. So once I got to high school, I had to decide whether I wanted to play soccer or football. I played football. But when in my time at ESPN, the best thing, even still now, even though the Women's World Cup in Australia was fantastic, the best thing that I've ever been involved in from a work standpoint, and just a trip and experience, everything, was being in South Africa for 6 weeks for the 2010 World Cup. It was an unbelievable experience to meet people and work with people from all throughout the world, and kind of figure out a way to make money doing that as well. It was weird too, because I had a Germany Netherlands head-to-head World Cup final matchup that year, and unfortunately Thomas Mueller got a second yellow, which resulted in a red, and he couldn't play in the semi against Spain. And they wound up losing that game. So I was kind of ticked off about that. But anyway, moving on to this now, with the World Cup a year away, and it should be an awesome experience here. And I know that the U.S. men's national team is coming off a pretty shitty effort last night with a team that is, I think what people need to realize is that's not the team that we're going to field. That was an opportunity. And Poach even said it afterwards. It's on me. That was a lineup of inexperienced guys who were going against a Swiss side that's got a bunch of players that play for a bunch of major European national teams. So that was a rough deal. European club teams rather. But I know I'm looking forward to the World Cup. Yeah, a year away. They were like, hey, to throw a couple of long shot bets out there, a couple of bets just to get people wound up. And I threw Morocco out there as the dart throw at 80-1. They finished fourth a couple of years back, and they're a team that I think is going to be peaking right around World Cup time next year. They host African Cup of Nations next year, and then Brazil, who wound up winning last night as well, bringing in Ancelotti. I think if this team comes together and he kind of molds them into the type of club that he's done all throughout his career, plus 650 could be long gone. But no, I love soccer, and I can't wait for even women's Euros next month. They're going to be being in Australia a couple of years ago for the Women's World Cup. Certainly has kept me following the women's game as well. And women's Euros should be a lot of fun as well. And I'd be pretty surprised if someone other than Spain or England did wind up winning there.
Damn. Chris, let me ask
I
something.
bet you didn't expect that when you said you were going to have me on.
Hey, you know everything, man. Like,
deep dive.
Hey,
he got
wealth
the
of
Belmont
knowledge, man.
Steaks. He got soccer, he got football. He's been on everything, man. I love it.
Hey, the bear, man. Hey, let me ask you something. With the pros, the DraftKings, FanDuels, all these different betting apps and sites that have infiltrated pro sports. We had the infamous, I guess is the word he likes to be called, Tim Donaghy on, who's known for betting the NBA as a referee. He came on and broke down some crazy stories. But, like, where you at with the DFS part of this? Like, as far as, do you have to be good at picking players now in the world we're in to be good at actually picking the overs and unders as a team? You have to know almost all that, right? Don't you have to know the guys, individual, like, what they can do for you to win that, I guess, over and under bets that are so critical now and becoming a, I guess, over 50% winner?
They definitely are intertwined. And, look, I admit that I don't know everything, but part of the battle is knowing who to go to and knowing who to turn to, who does know stuff like this. So fortunately, I'm part of a group text thread with Will Hill, who's on the Bear Bets pod with me, Gil Alexander from VSiN, pro bettor Steve Fezzik, and Todd Wishneck, who is a pro bettor as well. And Todd is, his mind is photographic with a lot of these stats. You talk about these, like, to get a hit, to get a walk, righty-lefty matchups for DFS. His knowledge base of players to get a hit is amazing. Like, he was on this run, like, right away. As soon as Alex Bregman got hurt for the Red Sox, we got to have to play Devers to walk every single game because there's no need to pitch to him. Oh, TJ Friedel is someone who's undervalued in getting a hit. Maybe even to get 2 hits in that Reds lineup just because where he was hitting. Jose Ramirez, they can't price him high enough every single day. He gets a hit every single day. So, like, he finds these little things in these or he'll find pitchers to walk a certain number. I forget who it was a couple of days ago, but he's like, this is a pitcher we want to play to over 2.5 walks a game. So he finds those things, and I just like to tell him, and I can relay that information on to friends and followers as well. Like I said, none of us are going to know everything, but being able to have people you trust to be able to dig and come up with good information.
And go against anybody that pitches against Judge or Ohtani. Don't fucking pick them.
That's why I played under Aaron Judge's home runs last year just because I knew with that line, I'm like, why would you pitch to him? And they just kept pitching to him and pitching. And even this year, why are you pitching to him? There's no Soto in the lineup. And the guy's hitting 400 and he's got 20-something home runs. It's amazing.
You see that bomb he hit last night?
It's ridiculous.
Or what, 70 last night?
At that ballpark, which is a pitcher's ballpark.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. Would you bet the Dodgers or the field to win it all?
I would bet the field. I wouldn't hesitate in betting the field right now because
injuries.
Last year, I'm sorry?
Injuries?
Well, injuries, yes, but last year was an anomaly. Baseball is typically a sport where in a short series, anything can happen. Like over the course of 106, like one of my bets that I made before the year and gave out on Bear Bets and FoxSports.com was the Dodgers to have the best record in baseball. Because you would think over 162 games that they have the best team, that's going to manifest. Now, I don't think anybody saw the Tigers having the type of year that they're having, or the Mets without Soto really doing much, with Lindor being on the shelf for a while, Vientos now hurt, and losing 3/5 of your rotation or whatever. I don't think anybody saw the Mets being 43 or whatever the heck they are. But like last year, getting Yankees, Dodgers in the World Series, the 1 seeds in both the AL and NL, that rarely happens. So I would be surprised if would I be surprised if the Dodgers won again? No, but I think from a betting standpoint, the field would certainly be the bet because you're getting the Mets, you're getting the Padres, you're getting the Yankees, you're getting the Phillies, you're getting the Cubs, you're getting all these teams, which are quality teams, and I kind of equate it to something that I talked about this weekend in the Belmont Stakes about Baeza, who had finished third in the Kentucky Derby and finished behind journalism and sovereignty before. I said, look, it's a kind of a glass half full, glass half empty. Like, sure, you can bet him in the Derby and the Santa Anita handicap at 13-14 to 1, and he couldn't get in front of journalism or sovereignty then. You really want to bet him at 7-2, 3-1 to try and beat journalism and sovereignty? Sure, he potentially could, but from a numbers standpoint, why you want to bet him at a quarter of the price that he probably should be? So I kind of equate it to that. There are two different arguments. Is it a good bet, or can they win?
No doubt. Let me ask you this real quick, just knowing all the things that you know. Is the AL East, Central, West, what's the biggest shock to you as far as the race is pretty tight in the East? The Central's kind of, besides the A's, they're all within 4.5 games. And then you got the NL West, obviously, which everyone's within 6.5, other than the Rockies, who we know is probably the worst team in baseball. What's the biggest surprise division this year for you? If you're a bettor or just knowing baseball, are you surprised by any particular division?
I'm surprised by the AL East. I did not think the Yankees would have the lead that they have right now. I thought the Red Sox would be a little bit more involved. I don't think anybody thought that the Orioles would collapse and bottom out and crater the way that they have. But the Yankees with no Soto, no Stanton, having the rotation issues that we thought they would have without Garrett Cole, the fact that they're up, I think, 5 games now on the Blue Jays is certainly the biggest shock to me.
No, for sure. Let me ask you: are you, I guess, locked in with the NBA Finals at all as well, or are you not spending a lot of time on that?
Yeah, I'm watching for sure. I'm not as super locked in as I am on other things, but I did make I hate when people come on. I'm going to do what I hate right now. Like when the Thunder got down 2-1 to Denver and Oklahoma City was plus 125 to win the title. I'm like, okay, I gotta make a bet on this now, plus 125 to win the title. So I did do that. Yeah. And I did play the Thunder to win the series in a parlay. Basically, if I liked something, I basically parlayed it with the Thunder in the series price. It was like minus 700, but it brings things down a little bit. Like I played the Rockies under 9.5 wins in the month of June with Oklahoma City to win the title. So like Rockies were like minus 110 or 120 under 9.5 wins. You throw even a minus 700 in there, you wind up getting plus 107 on that. So it winds up making a little bit of value with something else that you like. But yeah, tonight obviously is a big game. Look, the Thunder should be up 2-0 in this series. I think I hear a lot of people making a case for Indiana tonight just because the game's at home and the Thunder haven't covered on the road. I don't know.
Smitty's a Naptown guy, so you're hurting his feelings right now, Bear.
I'm born and raised in Indianapolis, man. We love being the underdog. We love people not believing in us, Bear. So I'm going with the Pacers. I might just take $500 and just put them on the Pacers to win it all.
Well, I'll tell you what, Smitty.
I'll in my favor.
In right around March Madness, maybe a couple of week conference tournaments, FanDuel sent out this like 50% bonus or whatever it was for an NBA bet. And I'm laying there, literally sitting in bed, in the room, and nothing else had really, like all the games had been gone, and like all their futures. And I'm looking, I'm like, I wasn't like sold on the Celtics at all. I'm like, the Knicks aren't going to win. I actually bet the Pacers. It wound up coming out to like 40-1 with the boost to win the East. $200 bet on the Pacers at 40-1 to win the East.
Damn.
And I'm pissed at myself. I'm pissed at myself because I did not think the Knicks could win. And like the little voice in your head where it's like, oh, you can guarantee yourself money. Just bet a little bit on the Knicks, and that way you'll win either way. And of course, I bet a little bit on the Knicks in this series, and of course, the Pacers were definitely the right team, like I thought they were. But I'm good. I'm good with the Pacers. Don't worry, the Pacers and I have a good relationship.
Hey, Bear, I'd be remiss if I don't bring this up. A real man sport, as the Stanley Cup Finals are here. Florida's up 2-1. Tomorrow, they've had a few days off now, and Florida put it on Edmonton. Edmonton seemed like they just didn't show up. They had some line shifts that I thought were questionable. Florida's up. Do you expect Edmonton to tie this up? And if you're a betting man, would you put your money on Edmonton or Florida?
No, I like Florida. I like Florida here. I liked Florida before the series. Again, I understand people who kind of had that like charmed life run for the Oilers who against the Kings coming back and against the Stars, all that. But Florida is a different beast. The way they keep coming at you in waves, both the physical and mental beating that they give you, and people, Edmonton will bounce back and get revenge from last year. Florida's better than they were last year, and Edmonton losing Hyman, Nugent Hopkins isn't 100%. You saw that in Game 3, how I think Florida kind of mentally broke them a little bit. And I'm really curious to see what happens in the first period on Thursday night down there in Florida. I think Florida. I liken this to something from my youth. I was still a little young at the time, but the Islanders in 78-79 had the best record in the league, were the Stanley Cup favorite, and they wound up losing in the conference final to the Rangers.
Yeah.
The following year, the regular season wasn't great. Their point total went down by like 15, 20 points. They tinkered with the lineup. They made some trades during the season, and it was all to build themselves up for the Stanley Cup playoff run. Now, Florida last year, they did winning the Cup. And this year, during the regular season, they went through some spells where they did not look good. They were the third place in the division. They had to make some trades. They traded for Marchand. They traded for some other people. And it was all to build the team back up to peak for the Stanley Cup playoff run. And I think it's kind of what they're doing now. So I expect them to win Game 4, and we'll see if it gets back to a Game 6. But I love Florida. I love this Panthers team. I played them before the series, and I would play them again now.
Chris, you're killing me because the Kings should be in this damn thing. We choked off a 2-0 lead, man.
This is all Jim Hiller's fault.
Yeah.
What a stupid challenge. What a dumb challenge in the third period. And then to allow a goal to Bouchard into the following game.
Man.
Hang
in there, JB. Hang in there. Right. I'm not giving up on the Oilers, though, man. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, like these guys have heart. They got passion. I know it was a blowout loss, but the first two games went with the overtime in the first game, with the double overtime game too. I don't think Edmonton is just going to go out here and just give up. I know you said mentally you feel like Florida, it really gave it to them. But I think this next game is going to be huge. Do not be surprised if the Oilers bounce back. That's all I'm going to say.
Do you think it goes beyond 6 games?
No, I think 6 games. I think 6 games tops. I think Florida will win tonight. Edmonton will get the Game 5 win, and then unlike last year, Florida will close them out at 6.
There, we can't thank you enough, man.
Yeah,
legendary stuff. Hopefully, we can get you on again, maybe during the football season, man.
We got to meet at work one day. I mean, I know our schedules are different. I know you're doing beer beds, and then I know once football starts, you probably be there on Saturdays. I work on a daily studio show, so I'm in Monday through Friday. So, but hopefully one of these days we can meet up in person.
Yeah, absolutely. Next time I'm out, I'll definitely be out in LA for the football seminar there in August, and hopefully maybe at some point over the next month for soccer. We'll see.
Don't let them buy you like some martini or some shit either with the pinky out either, Chris.
No,
he likes those fruity drinks.
Little short glass.
Yeah. I appreciate you, brother. Good luck to everything you're doing, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Great talking to you guys. Be well.
Thank you, brother. Chris Felica joined the show.
Worker, man, the bear, Chris Felica, man, the legend. Love it.
Legend, man. Shout out to everybody that popped in. Legendary show, man. A lot of good guests on.
Big time.
A lot of insight for everybody out there.
Paris, when you get a chance, can you go ahead and cut up that I'll talk to you about offline.
Cut up what?
I kind of clicked you earlier on the Shamar Stewart thing, so I want to make sure we cut a real good reel of that. But make sure you cut it the right way, Paris. Don't be trying to show love to JB. Show it, do it, keep it real.
It's funny how what you want cut.
Yeah.
Versus like other shit that I tag you in.
Majority of the stuff that's cut, which is fair, like I get it, is not in favor, but like it's your show. Like it's our show, but it's the Coach JB show with this.
I want fair though. I want it fair.
Of course. No, you always keep my take in there. I'm just saying, but the main like foundation of it is you, which is totally fine.
We get good banter on Instagram and shit.
There are moments though when we like this one, we really went back and forth with the Shamar Stewart. That's a good like balanced out take. So I want that one cut. JB always get mad at me. He's like, you don't be collabing on all. I'm like, but some stuff it don't make sense for me to collab on. Like it's like you're talking 90% of the time. It's not a collab.
Well, I think she cuts it sometimes that way. So Paris will fix it.
Ricardo. Finally, he said finally a guest that isn't 70. How about you book the guest in, Ricardo? How about starting tomorrow? You use your Rolodex of all your amazing connections, all your pro athletes and NIL guys and coaches, and you go ahead and book the guest, Ricardo.
Hey, what up, dog? Hey, there's this motherfucker named Ricardo. Can you put him on the list today to scoop his ass up?
Oh shit.
Okay, I appreciate it.
I didn't know he was doing that.
All right, thanks, Ice. Later.
Did not know he was doing that. Don't cut that. I didn't know
What? What happened? What?
Bailey, have you tried these Alani protein bars? They cool. Like they decent. It's a little too I got like a peanut butter. It's a caramel crunch. It's a little too like gooey for me, if that makes sense. But they're not bad though. They're all right.
Hell yeah, hell no. I should scoop Ricardo. Are you okay? You okay, Kelly? Hey, mama. Hey, the baby. Hey, the baby. Hey, guys.
I hate when he does this.
Hey. Hi. Hi, Baba. Hey. What's up, Papa? Hey. Hey. Okay. Okay. Kelly, you got to need bath. You got to need bathy.
So
you got to need a bathy. You stinky.
That was a bathy.
You stinky. You need bathy.
This is the real JB right here, y'all. When the camera roll off, that's the real Jason. Total carbs, 18 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fiber.
Hell yeah, hell nah. I should scoop Ricardo.
Don't put me in this.
That's why that motherfucker don't have no goddamn picture. He don't have no fucking. He's not a member. He could be scooped up at any given moment.
JB, you ain't did a cooking video in a long time.
I did one the other day. I did swordfish and shrimp the other day.
Define the other day, because like black people, we do this. We call everything the other day. What's the other day?
Can you find it, Bailey, and put it in here before we end?
It was like 2 days ago. I'll tell. It looked pretty damn good too. I don't know.
Can you find this, Bailey, real quick?
I didn't see it. That's crazy. I don't know how I didn't see it.
You know why? Because fucking Elon got fucking Twitter's algorithm all fucked up. It's not even. I'm almost don't even want to post nothing on Twitter no more.
Because I always see your stuff typically, but I'm like, damn, how did I not see that? Like,
Twitter ain't doing nothing. I mean, I don't think shorts are good for Twitter because they're not doing shit.
I mean, look, Twitter's the one platform that's not growing. Like at Fox, I'm gonna be real with you. Like they tell us when we have our little behind the scenes meetings, they like, listen, you still post to Twitter just to make some other people happy in the company. But in reality, they like do not stress over Twitter. They say
I'll text some stupid shit, like I'll tweet a stupid thing without no video.
Video, yeah.
And it'll do a million fucking
like impressions or whatever, yeah.
But a video of fucking like anything, it won't do shit.
Twitter ain't the spot, bro. Twitter's dying.
I got a billion fucking whatever those bot DMs from fucking porn sites and some weirdo. It's all about crypto now. I'm getting so many fucking crypto fucking DMs.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, with the sauteed vegetables?
Yeah.
You finally using your actual kitchen now. You spent all that money to get it.
Yeah, I've been on the boat so much. I'm like, you know what? Let me do the wolf. I got wolf right there. Ooh, 48 inch. I'm a huge fucking thing. I can cook so much on that motherfucker. So yeah.
How do you know so much about like little shit like that, like stoves and grill? Like, are you just like do a lot of research, basically, just like looking shit up?
Yeah, wolf's the best. I had a beer for the first time in a while.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's a good home cook. That's a good meal right there. Like cold beer,
swordfish, bomb, lemon on top, Cajun.
Damn, it look fire. Only thing you need is a little bit of hot sauce. Damn, it look good.
Ruin the fucking flavors, homie. You
No,
add
they
hot
don't. Add a little spice to
sauce
it.
overpower. It's not a taco. It's swordfish Cajun.
Regular hot sauce, like Frank's, or you know what? Tabasco would be good on that meal. Just a few drops.
You ruined
Not too much, just a few drops.
You ruined the swordfish, that moistness in there, homie. Swordfish is like the steak of the sea. So if you haven't had swordfish, a lot of people are scared to have swordfish. See, a lot of folks I know are scared to have swordfish for some reason. Swordfish is my favorite fish. That and halibut.
It'll poke you.
But swordfish is some of the best. Swordfish, Tabasco would ruin a swordfish. You don't want to do it. I've already cooked it, and usually I grill them, but I made it at the house on the stove, but on the skillet. But usually I'll grill them.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to overcook a swordfish because you don't want a tough, tender fish. You want that to have that juicy moistness in there, and sprinkle it with some lemon. The lemon will replace your Tabasco. You don't want to put Tabasco on the swordfish, homie. You put some lemon on the swordfish, but you already got the Cajun. So, D Jones, I'm thinking about doing some sort of cooking. I don't know.
That's really your lane, but I'm gonna let you. I got
too many lanes. I got too many lanes because every time something happens, you'll say that's what you should be doing. You say that about 20 things.
No. I think food. I've always thought food was like because it shows a difference. One, you love cooking. You like actually love to do it, so it's not like a hard thing for you to do. Just put a camera on it. People are actually into it, and it shows like a fun side of you. Like everything else you do is like angry. The food side is like it shows personality. It shows like happiness.
It's what?
Like it's like your political show. You angry on here. You're angry. The food is the one part JB where I'm like, damn, they're seeing the JB that I see when I hang out with it. Like you just happy, you bam, like you in there cooking, you. It's 9:03, so I'm gonna go ahead and probably end it, man. I appreciate y'all, man, for joining the show, man. Just having a good time.
Would you hit?
Perry says JB has my dream kitchen, and then Chris responded said, "It's so nice." Chris been there so many times. She know everything at. Kitchen, bedroom, grill, backyard, everything. Front room, movie theater, bedroom, living room, everything. Garage. But appreciate y'all, man, for
Would you hit?
I don't hit women, homie. Why would you even ask a silly question like that?
I'm just saying, hypothetically, would you hit?
Oh, you about hit? I thought you meant like, okay, I'm sorry. I got confused when you was talking about. Oh, I mean, I don't really live in the world of hypotheticals, though, man. Especially, you know, there's so much going on in today's world.
Yeah, hypothetical every day on the
show. You got tariffs going on. There's just so much shit going on. Egg prices is insane. It's just so much going on that I try
everything's down.
I try to live in like the reality. I don't like to live in like the hypotheticals no more. So that's kind of a tough question. But I'll pose a question to you. Would you hit?
I'll fuck shit out of that liberal bitch.
It's not a real picture. This is AI. So you're gonna be fucking a robot.
She got titties too.
I read something. They said in the next like 10 years, more humans are going to be having sex with robots, than actual women. So, and I can see you being that person because you're a homebody. You don't go outside. I can see you having like a
makes sense. That's what they're doing now.
But the robot's going to be so like real looking that it's going to make you feel like you're really with the girl.
Nah,
and
that's what they're doing now.
Doing that.
That's what they're doing now. The transgenders are getting fucked.
I can see you getting the robots and like actually doing that because like you can control it. You like to be in control, and the woman doing whatever you want them to tell them to do right now. So if you got a robot, you can program it to do whatever you tell them to do at any point. Eat my ass. Go clean. Give me a head. Like whatever you're gonna do. Lay down. Wash your feet. Like whatever you want. So the robot will work great for you.
They probably cook.
They definitely can cook.
They probably won't demand that you go get a job. Then you work too much, and then they're mad that you're gone too long, and then they bitch and moan about that. And they probably won't take half your shit, and they probably won't hit you for alimony, and they probably won't hit you for child support, and they probably won't get half your fucking house when you leave or get your full house. They probably won't fucking go out and fucking do.
See, look, you starting to fall in love with it already.
What? I'm just saying what they probably won't do. That's all I'm saying.
Oh shit.
What?
I just be seeing certain shit, and I'm just learning more stuff from certain people, from our fans, from our coworkers, from people, just people in just in the show. And I'm gonna show this and I'm gonna move on. And that's it. I'm not gonna like read it. I'm just gonna show you so you understand what I'm talking about, and I'm gonna take it off and we're gonna just move on. We're gonna end the show appropriately. We're gonna end it like that. So. Appreciate you, JB, for this coming. Shout out to the shirt you got on too. We didn't pay homage to that shirt you got on. That's a legendary. Is that Captain America? Like throwback, like original Captain America shirt right there. Guys, show love. Shout out to the Avengers. And appreciate y'all, man. Tomorrow Thursday. The world going so fast right now. So Steve Kim, got some other big time guests, I'm sure. I haven't even looked at Craig's latest email. I'm sure we got some big time guests tomorrow. And man, make sure y'all subscribe and tune in. And let's get to this 100,000 subscribers by August. Let's make it happen.
So tripping on what you showed. Anyway.
It threw me off too. I was trying to like make sure. I was saying, what's she talking? I was like, oh shit. I was trying to like see what she was talking about. But yeah.
Oh shit, what? Oh shit, what?
I was just I didn't know she was talking about. Like it caught me on guard. We were talking about robots and what they can do and what they couldn't do. So I was like, I kind of put it together. So, but that's interesting. It's an interesting thing.
Put what together?
Just 2 + 2 is 4. We're just listening what robots can do, what they can't do, and that was just a good point of what they couldn't do, I guess. Well, she followed up and said safely. They can't do it safely, so I don't know what that. I don't know why you would want to choke somebody safely, but it's okay.
Anyway, Unpaved at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. The Political Playbook.
Hold on real quick. You got Coach JB show in the morning from 6 a.m. 9 a.m. Pacific time. Really 9:15 because we always go over. You got Unpaved here very soon. Then you got the political thing tonight, and then you go after cooking shows. You gonna have 4 shows a day. You grinding, homie. I like that.
I'm not adding those cooking show right now. I'm gonna think about doing a cookbook or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see you tonight though. Make sure we'll be on both channels again, and we'll get that going. But we're gonna be moving on over to that other channel. So subscribe today to the JB's Political Playbook. We'll see you tomorrow for Truth Telling Thursday right here, God willing. Peace.
This the real JB. You better find the skin real quick.